What up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 4 of Nightcrawlers podcast. We are here. We are back from Thanksgiving, the holidays. Probably hear the TV going on in the background. I forgot to turn that off, but it's all good. But we got a pretty good panel with you tonight, or here for you tonight, joining us. And one person, technical difficulties, but we're trying to get it squared away. So we'll figure that out soon. But without further ado, let's get our first guest here for tonight's episode. We have
Hey,
Narak. How are you, brother?
what's going on, man?
Nice, nice. Good to have you. Um, what have you been playing anything, or like tell me a little bit? How was your Thanksgiving, man? How was everything?
Oh, dude, Thanksgiving was awesome. Went over to my mom. She cooked and ate a good bit. Watched a good bit of football. I brought my Nintendo Switch with me, so I was playing some Pokemon on and off throughout the day. Not getting too involved because it's family time and whatnot. But while the game's on and everybody's watching the game, turn it on, sneak in a few battles real quick. But
Nice.
yeah, it was good. It was a nice little relaxing day. But man, I
Nice.
ate too much.
Of course, right? Of course.
You didn't do it right if you didn't eat too much.
Of course. No, for me and the wife, it definitely felt like it wasn't long enough, and like we didn't eat enough. We switched it up a little bit. We didn't do turkey this year, which to some people is blasphemy, but to be honest, turkey is not that delicious. Let's keep it real.
It's not uncommon either. Like there's a lot of people who do like people do like fish or like
Mhm.
there's all kinds of different variations, different cultures. So I mean like to sit there and say like, oh, you didn't have turkey, that's blasphemy. Get the
Yeah,
fuck out
right.
of here.
Right. No, we definitely we did steak.
Nice.
We did
Mm.
stammen. Wow. We did stammen. No, we did say steak, we did salmon. We did mashed potatoes, we did stuffing. She loves stuffing. That's her thing. And mashed potatoes is my
Hey.
thing. So, through we added veggies and everything and soup and whatnot, but it was a really good dinner for us. And the way circumstances are, like with the kids and everything, it was just me and her this year for Thanksgiving, which not to say it's a bad thing at all whatsoever, but it was actually nice. We've never really got to celebrate a Thanksgiving by ourselves. Like it made us feel young, like we were in college or something. We're away from our family, so let's celebrate together. It was really nice. It was good. So now is there have you played Halo at all? Like have you or not Halo, have you gone back to Forza like a
Oh,
lot? Because for me it's like I haven't touched it since Halo dropped.
I've been bouncing around, man. Like I've been playing Pokemon a good bit. I sat there. I did play a little bit of Halo. I did get into that event a little bit. I did not get up to the ninja outfit in that event, which I wanted to so badly. But I played a little bit last night, and man, I must have got into some sick lobbies. I was solo queuing, but man, I was getting my butt kicked so bad. So, like I've been playing it a good bit. I've still been playing Forza. I did miss last week's seasonals, and honestly, last week was just a busy week. Like,
Mm,
I work retail, and in retail, it's one of the biggest weeks of the year, no matter what retail environment you work in.
yeah,
Obviously, grocery stores is like the 2 weeks and the week of leading up to it, and for retail, it's that week and a few weeks after. So
yeah.
it was just a busy week, and I didn't really get to play as much as I wanted to, just in general. So my game time was cut severely short last week.
I feel that. I feel that. I was supposed to live stream. I was going to take advantage of it, and I just ended up taking advantage of the vacation. It was 4 days off from work, and I really needed that because the last couple of weeks has just been killer. And surprisingly, because I do deliveries now, or right now, you would think it would be even busier for my job, but this actually is the time of year because of what I deliver. It's not like Amazon or anything, but because of what we deliver, now it's kind of like slowing down, which is nice. Because man, it was slamming, but I just could not game at all last week. I really just wanted to rest every day. I don't even really think I got in Discord much. I just really enjoyed quiet time and just gaming on my own, and squatting up when I could, but just mainly doing my own thing. So
Oh yeah, I try to set a personal goal of streaming at least once a week, and I had every intention of throwing in a stream last week, but just every chance I had, I was so tired, and man, you got to have a certain energy when you're doing that, and
yeah,
I just didn't have it in me. I was just like, if I do this right now, it's just gonna be no good for anybody.
yeah, no, I
So.
feel you. I agree. I agree. Um, anyways, let's get Ben in here. He's been waiting long enough. He's been getting his beard right, his mustache twirled, his hair leaning over to the side.
It's
Looking like
actually quite a sight if you ever have a chance to watch it. Like, oh man, it's mesmerizing.
when he exfoliates his beard.
Yeah,
I
yeah, it
love it.
really. That's actually why we were so late. Like, it really wasn't technical difficulties. Like,
We were
we
just
just got
in
caught
love,
up watching Ben's beard.
just the gracefulness of the stroke. All right, so let's get him in, everybody. Cloud Tripping Entertainment.
What's good?
What up, Ben? How are you, brother?
Good, good. My beard was feeling a little crusty. It needed some oil and love. So I was
Hey,
just
what's up, Jonathan Saul?
putting some of this stuff right here on it.
Ben getting that
Hey, what's up, John? That's
getting that
Nezzy, by the
drip.
way.
That's Nez.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm getting
Jonathan
that drip.
Saul's in the chat. Watch that. Oh man. So how's everything with Vegas? What happened Vegas night?
We're trying to get it figured out. He's doing screen sharing on Discord, and we're trying to figure out what's going on. I'm wondering if his Xbox wireless headset is muted, and he just hasn't noticed, which he can hear me.
Oh,
I
that might be.
think. No, he's muted. Vegas, you should check if your headset is muted manually. Like, you have a button on it.
So how was your Thanksgiving, Ben?
It was better than I thought it would be. My girlfriend was at her parents' house in Texas. They had some family stuff going on that she had to go back for.
Nice.
So I thought I was going to spend it with myself because my daughter, my ex had my daughter, and they had plans with her friends. But I had a friend come over, and I made Brazilian food. I don't know how to make Thanksgiving dinner, so I made Brazilian beans and rice with meat and other stuff, and we ate a hearty meal and watched Man of Wrath and Free Guy and played some video games and just chilled and hung out.
Nice.
So it was a good Thanksgiving. It was fun. It was non-traditional.
So Ben is I'm looking at Joe.
Holding the duck.
Ben is
Don't, you shouldn't put me in this spot, man. I'm going to be distracted by that duck all night.
we'll get you out of it soon. But let's see if I can. Oh, there we go. So Ben is actually it worked. It's the best I could do. Ben is being very modest. If I had to put him on blast, because Ben recently keeps saying this thing where he's like, I'm not really a good cook. I don't really cook. But he's always posting in my Discord, by the way, in our food porn section, these delicious looking delectables that are just very well put there and crafted and just like artisan and just and like I love it,
Like, I swear I saw a quail egg on one of them one time, and if you use a quail egg, I mean, you're at another
I've
level.
never used a quail egg.
By the way,
the last one I posted. I just took like 2 boiled eggs that I had. They were like 3 or 4 days old, and I just chopped them up, threw some mayo, some Southwest seasoning, some chives.
I
Put them
love
on some toast, and then I fried up some bologna and red onions and put that over it and melted some cheese over the top of that with a
See,
little
how
bit
do
of
you talk
sprinkle of
about food?
cilantro.
I'm
That's
sorry.
easy stuff. That's nothing
No,
complicated. That's like
no,
lazy that's like lazy cooking.
no.
It just
How would
looks
you?
pretty and sounds good.
But how do you talk about it that way and say you don't know how to cook? Because I know
Because I've been
plenty of
around
people who do.
I've been around a lot of really good cooks. So I know what complicated cooking looks like. And that to me is like the most basics of basics. I just
But that's not the
take
point.
what I have in my fridge and make it taste
But that's
good.
not, but that's not the point. What I'm saying is, I know other people who could put the same stuff together, but they don't talk about it like it's delicious like that. Okay, you have a
I mean, it was
passion.
it was tasty. I like doing art stuff, whether it's photography or doodling or whatever. You've seen my doodles too.
Yes, you have, and I enjoy them.
And basically, I do what looks good and what turns out looking good in pictures, and I'm good at making things look pretty in pictures too, and that helps. So when I post things, you guys like to drool over it.
Well, what I really would love for you to do is to find, and I've been dying to tell you this because I've told you this before, but is to pick one night out of the week where you just play some dope copyright free, like good music, whatever you want, maybe electronic, I don't know, and just do your art, bro. Just go live on Twitch, just do your art and just like let
I
watch
I
people
was
enjoy
trying
you.
to I was
You're
trying to
so
the other night,
good.
but my other webcam that I have has this weird issue
Mm.
where it just everything looks like staticky, and I can't
Oh,
figure out how to fix it. It's busted.
is it because you're
And
running two cams at once, or?
no, I've done that before.
Mm.
It's not working. I don't know why.
Mm.
I'm trying to find another way to do it. Maybe I'll use my phone as a second camera, like a virtual one. Through split cam, and I'll try that or something.
Well, whenever you decide to finally do it, I will hopefully be there because I think that would be amazing. One thing I do like to do on the side is go on Twitch or wherever people are streaming and look for like the artists out there, but the ones specifically that like playing, good music along with the art that they're doing, nighttime vibes, and stuff. And Cloud Trip and Entertainment is all about the artistic stuff. So if you guys haven't already watching this out there, whether you're live or watching the replay, please subscribe to my boy over on Twitch. You can give them your handle right now or later if you want. That's up to you. But
I'll
please check
I'll, I'll
out.
post it in the chat.
Yeah.
What I would do.
Yeah. What's
Let
up,
me find
Maker? We got Maker of Chaos on 12 in the chat.
Nice.
What's up, buddy?
Next time I try and do that, well, it's gonna be a while. I'm in between jobs right now, so I usually do better with that when I got some sativa going on.
Wow.
And I don't have that. I can't do that right now. So
No, I feel it.
but yeah, I'll get back to it. I'll figure something out. It's gonna be a little while.
No, it's all good. But like I said, everybody go follow him on Twitch. And even when he live streams gaming, it's just, check him out. Why not? It's a good time. So we're still having technical difficulties trying to get Vegas up in here. We'll still figure it out. Ben, I know, is working with him. But as we figure out the technical difficulties, we're actually going to turn it over real quick back to JoJo. And he is going to talk about our first topic of the evening, which is the PlayStation Plus December games that dropped recently. And JoJo, would you like to take a minute and let everybody know about these 3 games right here?
All right, so actually, this is probably one of the best lineups I've seen from PlayStation in the year. I mean, it's I'd say maybe at least top three. PlayStation always goes big with these PlayStation Plus games. Like I think earlier in the year, you got like the Final Fantasy VII remake. They gave away like Maneater at one point, and they always have good games to give. So, you see here the PlayStation 5 free game, there's Godfall, which I've been dying to play. It's really gotten fairly bad reviews or mediocre at best, I'd say. But just looking at the gameplay of it, it looks really cool, and I'm looking forward to trying it out. Lego DC Supervillains. I don't know much about that one. I don't really do a lot of Lego games. However, I did hear that, this is one of the better Lego games out right now. So
Hmm.
that's pretty cool. And then you got Mortal Shell, which I actually tried to stream the other day, and I just got frustrated and switched to Forza. Or actually, I switched to Halo at that point. That's what I was doing. But it's a Dark Souls like game. Not from the makers of Dark Souls, but not a bad game. I could see if I'm in the mood for it one night, I could definitely get into that game. I just wasn't really feeling it the other night. I wanted to try it, but it just wasn't the right time. So all in all, like really decent lineup of games coming from PlayStation this coming month.
Ben, what uh, what do you think about the three games for PS Plus this month?
Um, I think they're interesting. I've had my eyes on DC supervillains like the Lego because I get the Lego games for my daughter because even though she's not really good at playing them yet, she likes to watch me play them and has fun doing that. I've never really I've seen a lot of people play Godfall. It's just for some reason I've never really looked into it, so I have no idea what it's about. That just doesn't seem that interesting to me. I also know that Mortal Shell is on Luna and Xbox right now on Game Pass. So it's like, I mean, I don't have PS Plus or PS Now, so I probably won't play any of those because I don't have it. But I can play, Mortal Shell at least on two other services right now, so that's good without having to pay for it.
Okay, nice. For me, I think it's three good games. I've seen some gameplay of Godfall. I haven't really paid attention much to Mortal Shell, but I have heard good things about it. The Lego DC games, I haven't really played them to be honest with you, but I always think they look fun. Like if I ever do finally get around to them, because I have such a massive backlog. Why did I do that to myself? But because of that, I haven't really gotten to any of them yet. But what the more I see more of them and the more they come out, the more I see gameplay and trailers and commercials and this and that, it does pique my interest a lot, especially because I grew up on Lego like the rest of us. And, I love the Lego movie and all of that. But if, as Jojo was saying, if it's as good as he was hearing, I'm interested to check it out myself. What other platforms is DC Supervillains available on? Or is it just PlayStation?
I'd be pretty sure that
It's
actually all
available on
three of
others.
these games are pretty much like PC, Xbox, PlayStation. Um, like Ben had mentioned, Mortal Shells on Luna.
Yep.
I don't know where else Godfall would be. I'm not sure if that's a Stadia or I don't think it's a Luna title, but I don't know if that's a Stadia title or not, and I'm not sure about the Lego one either.
Yeah, no, I don't. The three of these are not on Stadia. It would be nice to have them, but um, actually, wait, DC Supervillains. No, it's not on Stadia. I don't think. If it's not, it would be nice, but no, I don't think.
No,
Um,
DC Supervillains isn't available for isn't available anywhere for free. I've seen it and I've had my eye on it. I will say, Maker of Chaos was playing Mortal Shell the other day, if I remember correctly. He was live streaming it on
oh,
Claudio
word,
Games.
word. Oh, that's right. That's right. Dang, Maker, you need to let me know in the Discord, bro, when you stream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it,
fun.
it it seems really cool, but like I said, when I was trying to stream it, I just wasn't in that type of zone to play that type of game. Like, I've played enough Dark Souls to where I could play that anytime really, but like getting into Mortal Shell, there's a couple different mechanics in that then that's like different makes it stand away from a Dark Souls game. That it just wasn't agreeing with me last night, so I had to switch it up.
I feel that. I feel that. Okay. Okay. Well, not a bad selection, I think, for December. One thing I do kind of wish, and other YouTubers mention this as well, is the time. This is mainly a PS Now thing, but it's a PlayStation thing. Just the time that these games are on certain like PS, whether they're on PS Plus or PS Now, just the duration that they're there and available, I just wish would increase a little bit, you know. But for PS Plus this month, I think it's nice. Would it be nice if they added a few more games? Yeah, maybe some, maybe some like some more indies, but all in all, I think it's a good selection, especially for those who haven't played it, but they're PS Plus members. Three solid titles for them to try. So yeah, I think that's exciting. So, but let's keep it going. Let's move it on to our next topic. We have the December Pro games for Google Stadia. We're going to talk about that real quick. We have some of them right here: Wreckfest, The Falconeer, Transformers Battlegrounds, as well as, let me minimize this and bring up this. Blaze and the Monster Machines Axle City Racers. That is not a pro game, but that did release with alongside the pro games, and I guess you could say a bit of a stealth drop. Hunting Simulator 2 Elite Edition dropped as well. I had previously stated I'm not going to play that game, but to whoever does, I'll watch their gameplay if they stream it. That's fine. I just personally won't. Rayman Legends did drop as well. That was last week before Thanksgiving. Farming Simulator 22, Jackbox Party Pack 8. But pretty much all in all, we had 5 pro games come. Besides Transformers Battlegrounds, Wreckfest, and Falconeer, there was also Foreclosed, which was previously in the Stadia store, but now it is gone pro. I would recommend Foreclosed. One of my friends knows one of the people who worked on that game, and I bought it when it first came out. I supported it. It's a cyberpunk style themed game. I think it's absolutely great. I need to go back to it. And then, as well as Destroy All Humans is now pro, the first game. And then Destroy All Humans 2 will be coming soon, I believe. But yeah, those are the 5 pro games that we got. Jojo, while Ben is still helping Vegas, what do you think about these 5 pro games that came this month for December?
So one of the outlooks I try to always take when you're talking about things like this is put yourself in the shoes of the person who this is literally the only platform they play, or the only platform that might be available to them. Like, there's a lot of cloud gaming out there, but like you said, cloud gaming works differently in different places. So, put your shoes in the person who has only Stadia available to them. And like, I'm looking at games like Wreckfest,
Mm-hmm.
Destroy All Humans, that Madden 22, what was it, the Bow something edition there?
Bo Knows Edition.
Yeah, the Bow Nose edition. Like every Rayman game is usually a win right there. In the shoes of somebody who only has Stadia, these are some awesome games to come to Stadia. So I'm going to kind of leave it at that, because there are a lot of people out there. Like, imagine some of the people who, like, they only have Nintendo Switch. That's the only platform available to them. They're missing out on a lot of content with that. But not everybody has the option. So given that, this could be in the situation of somebody not having any other options, these are some awesome games to come to that platform.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
out of
agree.
all of them, Wreckfest stands out. Like, just personally to me, like, if I were one of those people who only had Stadia and I seen Wreckfest as a pro game, I'd be freaking souped.
Now, I played Wreckfest. I tried Transformers, and I played a little bit of Falconeer, and that was this morning before work when I woke up. And what's up, Game Tech Planet? What's that? Yeah, I tried those 3 this morning, and Wreckfest I've already loved. When I got my Series S, I downloaded Wreckfest on it, even though I didn't need to. But I also bought the Series S and X uh, um, DLC for it, for like the extra quality or whatever stuff in the packs that it comes with, like the upgrade edition. Um, I bought that for it because this is how much I really actually enjoy that game, And despite doing that, and already have been able to play the game because of other various means and services, I'm absolutely excited that Wreckfest is now finally on Stadia, because this is a game I still play casually. I still go back to when I'm just chilling, and now I can do it on Stadia, which, a lot like xCloud for me, is the easiest platform for me to access when I'm chilling at home. So I'm so happy. But with Falconeer, I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed that game. Like, it's literally, so far it feels like a Sea of Thieves, but you're flying on birds that can shoot
Hey, Dusty,
weapons.
I got Vegas should be ready. He should be waiting.
Yes. All right, let's get him in. Yo.
Oh, I love the Christmas tree, man.
What's up, Vegas? Can you hear us?
His settings were right. It was working. I could see his camera bouncing. I think his volume might be turned down.
Shoot him a message. But
okay.
but yeah, as I was saying, Falconeer was super enjoyable, and it does feel like a Sea of Thieves meets like this. Like, you're flying on these birds, and you do these quests and missions, and you can shoot these evil things that I can't even explain yet because I need to play more of it. But I after playing the amount that I did, which was very little, I recommend the Falconeer. I only needed to play 10 minutes of it to recommend
Yeah,
it.
we can hear you.
Okay. Yes. So let's welcome Vegas Knight, everybody. How you doing, Vegas?
Good. Sorry about that. I'm a rookie.
Nah, you chilling, bro. You chilling. So just so everybody knows, we pop in Vegas's cherry tonight, baby. This is his first podcast, baby. Let's go.
That's why it took so long. I had no lube.
I had to help him with some sound setting stuff and everything, but we got it. We figured it out.
We're good.
So before we continue on with the topic, Vegas, tell everybody in watching right now or watching the replay a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and this is something I have everyone do when it's their first time on the show. Tell us a little bit about how you got into gaming.
So I grew up in Florida, and then I've been from 5 years old to 26 years old. I packed up and moved to Vegas and lived there for 15 years until about April of this year. And then now I'm in Kentucky for maybe another year, then hopefully move somewhere near the beach, because that's where I want to be. I want to be somewhere near the beach, probably back to Florida if I could afford it, but we'll see what happens with the housing prices. But yeah, I got into gaming when I was a little kid. I'm old, so I had the Atari, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, then Nintendo Ultra. I had a lot of them. The last console I had there was the 360, the Xbox 360, and then I stopped playing for like 15 years or so. And then I got back into it probably March of 2020, right before COVID started. I got Stadia, and then that's where I met Ben and everybody.
We were playing that Ghost Recon Breakpoint like every night for like 7 or 8 months.
It was crazy, like nonstop. But we had a good time, and then met you guys through the Discords and stuff. And something that GTP said, he said, if you only play on Stadia, it's great. You'll love it, and you're not gonna have any problems. But if you play Stadia and then play a console, you'll notice the difference. And I was like, oh, I don't know what he's talking about. So, but I was like, I want to know. And so I bought the Series S. And as soon as I got it, Ben was telling me, he's like, you got to get it. And it was awesome. I was like, yeah.
He got it like 3 or 4 weeks after I got my Series X. Like, dude, just do it. He's like, he saw it at the store, and I was like, should I do it? I was like, do it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I just got an email for Xbox X. But yeah, I didn't jump on it because I need to
You
watch
got
my
the
money.
email too?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
No, by the way, Joe,
Yeah.
don't worry. Don't worry. Vegas is older than you.
Nah, he was mentioning
I
all
won't,
those
I won't
consoles
say
and
how much
whatnot, and
older. I
I'm
just know
like,
he's older than you.
and
Wait,
I'm
what?
like,
You're
I
lying.
know that somebody gaming around that time had to have had the arcade gaming experience as well.
Oh yeah, it was great
Oh
waiting in
yeah,
line to play
Oh
Mortal Kombat.
man,
bruh. Oh my
Vegas just has a
like,
baby face, but he's older than you and GTP.
like you want to talk
42.
about like
42.
people weren't toxic
What?
in the arcade gaming industry because you get punched in the face. You're face to face there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
ain't teabagging shit.
Yeah.
Come
You
on,
get a token
Xbox.
thrown at you. You get tokens thrown at you.
Yep.
No,
Wait,
it
I
was
can't
fun
even hear
going.
you.
That was the best thing, going to the mall and you don't even see anything else but the
Oh, yeah.
arcade.
Man, God.
The
I used to
arcade
love- I
was
used to
the
love going to those when I
best
was younger.
babysitter of our generation.
Oh yeah.
Parents could go shopping and just drop us off at like the arcade, like next to the mall or in the mall or whatever, and they could just do whatever they wanted to.
Half the time, you couldn't even play the game that you wanted to because there would be like a line of people. So you just stood there and watched everybody else play Mortal Kombat. I'm like, I'm not playing.
And they'd play winner stays, and so only one person would swap out.
I wouldn't play that guy. That guy's kicking everybody's ass. I'm like, nah, I'm just
Exactly.
gonna watch. I'll wait till he's done. But thanks for having me on, Dusty, and popping my cherry.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, like there are several, well, several is probably the wrong word, but there are different people in our gaming community and circle of friends that I always think about wanting to give it the opportunity to. And, I don't say anything to anyone really because I don't want to say anything before I get ahead of myself. And I'm trying to bring in different people at different times, and whatnot. But I'm also looking for people, like core people that can come in, when they can. But most of the time, I guess you could say, because that's like where the energy is at, and I feel like when we're always gaming together, you always have that good energy that, the rest of us would like to have when it comes to a party. You're chill, like you're always part of the fun and, and the humor that we all have. And, it's good energy and good times, So I appreciate you, bro. I got you.
Speaking of old games and games that got us into gaming, see if you can tell what that is.
What is that? You got to stand up. Your name tag is in the way. Oh, Zelda, baby. Dang, that's a dope shirt. I like that. Oh, is that one of the ones you ordered?
Yeah, it is.
I can do the shirt game too, man. Look. We're all
of
up in there.
Dusty. And the gaming shirts.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Mine's a classic baseball tee. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Did you pick that one up in Japan?
No, actually, I got it at a nice vintage
Nice.
sale. Well, no, whatever. It's a streetwear shop, but they had a vintage sale going on.
Nice.
This is one of my like favorite jerseys. I love this jersey. But anyway, so now to get back into the topic, we'll hand it over to Vegas. What do you think about the 5 pro games that were announced? If you didn't hear what I had said earlier, or if you weren't aware for any reason whatsoever, Transformers Battlegrounds Wreckfest, Destroy All Humans, the Falconeer Warrior Edition, and Foreclosed, the Cyberpunk game, which I recommend because it was fun when I tried it. What do you think about the pro games, and what do you think about the stealth drop of Hunting Simulator 2 Elite Edition?
I mean, any games coming to any consoles is always a good thing. It doesn't matter, what it is, where it is, as long as someone will play it. It might not be me. Some of the games in Stadia I played on Xbox Game Pass for a long time, so I ain't gonna go back and play them. But every now and then I'll pop my head in over there and play with some of the guys that I haven't played for a while. But anytime any new games come to Stadia, it's always a good thing. But I haven't tried all of them. Some of them I've tried on Game Pass, but I haven't tried any of them yet.
Nope, Dusty's muted.
Hi, have you? I knew that. Have you played the Falconeer?
No,
I
haven't
recommend.
either.
The game is not easy to play. The controls are like it's hard to play that bird.
I was having fun. I was having fun. I was doing fine.
I
I
didn't
don't
say
know
it
about
wasn't
you.
fun. I'm just saying it's hard. I get dizzy playing that.
You know what it is? I'm used to the type of gameplay from the space battles in Battlefront 2, which can make a lot of people very
Gotcha.
dizzy, but I'm used to like that gyro, like constant you know. But I could see why you would say that, yeah.
Yeah, I love Star Wars Squadrons, but it's just trying to play that game for more than like 30, 45 minutes for me is rough. Like I feel it if I play it for more than like 30, 45 minutes.
Squadrons is harder because of the first person view. Like I think it's
Yeah.
easier when it's third person because you can see more and you don't like you can relax for a second. But when you're in Squadrons, you're in the cockpit the whole time. So even if you relax, everything is still right here, and you're like,
Falcon
ugh.
here's not quite as bad, but it's a similar feeling for me. I can go a little
Mm.
bit longer. It's just yeah.
Has anybody played Rayman Legends yet?
Oh, I've played that before through Ubisoft Plus.
No, I mean on Stadia.
No, not on Stadia.
I'm gonna try it. I'm excited that it's here. I think that's a nice addition that they added.
All the Rayman games are fun. There's not a bad Rayman
Yeah,
game.
it's
Like
fun.
they're all fun.
Um, what we should do, or what I would like to do soon, is host a Wreckfest party because I've been dying to
Yeah.
do a Wreckfest party, whether it's on Xbox or wherever. But to do it on Stadia, I think would be a lot of fun because I would like to utilize direct stream since that's 4K
Mhm.
60 or at best 2K 60. Um, but I think that would be a lot of fun. I always have a great ass time in Wreckfest. Um, who's down to join me? Huh? Who's in? Who's
I'd
in?
have to have Pro to do that. So
Oh, come on. Oh, yeah, you're right.
I'm in for Xbox, man.
Is it
Hey,
I'll play
crossplay?
it on Xbox. No
whatever we got to
crossplay.
Crossplay,
do.
right?
No
But you're
crossplay on
also
that
going to
one.
catch me on stage.
Oh,
But no, if we got to do it on Xbox, that's fine. That's the beauty of having all of these different platforms. You know, if one can't work for partying up, it's okay. There are other platforms out there, and these platforms they know that too. You know, you can't play everything everywhere or in just one place. You know, that's why there's an abundance of places. Uh, what was I going to say? Who's looking forward to Hunting Simulator? Yeah. All right.
Those can be
Um,
fun.
it looks like it's yeah. It looks like it's a good game. Um, maybe I
I
can
would
get
play. I would
past
play
the
that one that's
fair
free on
part.
Epic right now first because I can just play that on GFN. It's free on Epic and you can play it on GFN as well.
Oh, nice.
It's a
Yeah,
different hunting game,
it's
but it's a similar concept.
it's full sim. I mean, like I've tried those type of games before. There's a few of them out, and the thing is, there's it's a niche game. Like
Hmm.
there's actually a lot of people who enjoy those hunting simulating games, and they're good at them. They may not even like hunting in real life. I would say a good bit of the community that plays that game probably does hunt in real life, but there's
Hmm.
actually a pretty good following for that game. So I mean, that's again, I don't really mess with Stadia myself, but like I said, the way I look at things, it's all good news for anybody who's playing Stadia right now.
It is. When I lived in Arkansas, there were so many people that liked games like these, like just so many. Because like hunting is a way of life in like Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas. Like all those people love to hunt. It's a southern thing, and like even my family in Michigan, there's a lot of people that like to hunt as well. And I live in Colorado. It's some great hunting in Colorado. I don't hunt, and most people that I know don't. But I know that you have to get into a lottery based system to get the permits to hunt certain animals. Like they don't let you just pick what animals to hunt. Like they do a lottery system, and you may get a big game animal depending on your experience and whatever. But for people that are really into it, games like this are like they're a lot of fun. It's not my type of game. I'll play it once in a while, but I'm not going to play this all the time.
I'll probably pay for like 20, 30 minutes and then I'd be like, all right, I'm good.
Pretty much, that's what it'll be for me. Like maybe an hour
See,
tops at a time, once every like 2 or 3 times a year.
but when I see like a shot like that, I just want to go back to Forza. But
Yeah, yeah. All the nature
no,
shots.
it looks really well done. It looks beautiful.
Hmm.
From what I've played of these type of games, like probably got to know a little about hunting to be fluent in this game. Either that or you're really relying on those tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you get all of the additional content. Wow. You get everything. Nice. Stadia. All right. Well, let's move it along to the next topic of
Is
the
that Ace or Chief in the chat? I'm guessing it's Ace. It's a little too late for Chief.
Ben. Didn't know you lived in Arkansas. What?
I lived like 45 minutes like northwest of Little Rock. I lived in a dry county, so I'd go to Little Rock to buy alcohol all the time. That was that was the only thing. That was the closest place to buy alcohol. So like me and my friends would just basically like we'd take turns and just like hand everybody a bunch of cash, and just like one person would drive, load up the trunk, bring it back, meet in the parking lot, and we'd all just like split things up. That's what people
Sounds
did.
about right.
But yeah, small town in Arkansas. It's like 20,000 people. Not like tiny, but not like big by any means either.
I've been to Arkansas. I taught a master class, a dance workshop, two times.
Nice.
One time. No, one time. I think 2 times was in Alabama. That was an interesting time. It was
Gotcha.
a lot of fun. But when I taught over there, that was a really dope experience. The kids over there had a lot of love for me out there, so I thought that was really cool. That's one thing I really do miss right now is traveling the States like I used to. Granted, it was to teach, but it was regardless of what you get to travel for, always make it a holiday.
Oh, yeah.
Is what I tell people. People are like, "Oh, I'm going for work." And I'm like, I understand, and I understand when you go there, you're tired and you got to do this and that. But when you're not working, make it a holiday. And I really miss doing that.
Or try and try whenever you go somewhere new, try and like spend an extra like half a day or something just to like get to go around and see something. But yeah, Ace, I do remember you saying that you did, because we've talked about this before. I'm sure you just forgot. I forgot too that you did your grad school in Fayetteville.
That's tight.
University of Arkansas is beautiful. Like when you're up there, that area of Arkansas is gorgeous. Like that's one of the few parts of Arkansas that I really like. But there are some good parts, and that's one of them that's just really pretty.
That's what's up, Ace. Nice. What I need to do, which hopefully next year this can happen, is go to Colorado finally and teach. But while I'm out there, visit my good friend Ben. I think that would be awesome.
That would be fun.
And then I could probably finally meet your friends that you always tell me about.
Oh yeah,
and
try to meet Ben. He was too busy for me.
You can meet like five of the people in your Discord server that are all friends of mine in real life. Because I keep adding people in there that live in this area. Because I'm like, this is a gaming community. Just come have fun with us.
It's fine with it. It's fine. Oh, and speaking of friends, next week on Wednesday, we might have 8-Bit Wit on the show. That is one of my good longtime friends. She joined the Discord recently. She's a fellow gamer. She got back into streaming again. She plays on her PlayStation. I think she has a PS4 or maybe a PS5. I can't remember. But she should be in the show next week, so look out for that. But yeah, the more the merrier. Whether it's all of your friends or some of mine, it doesn't matter. No, I'm kidding. But I enjoy everyone that I meet, and it's been great times. And if you guys don't know who Nezzy is, that is somebody who's a lot of fun to play Halo with. One of Ben's friends, as well as Dismal Gaming. Shout out to Dismal. We all were playing Halo last night, and Dismal and both Nez. Super awesome to have you both there. For Dismal Gaming, if you guys don't know, check them out. Check both of them out. But
yeah,
that was
Nez and I went to college together. We've known each other for a long time.
Nice. So let's get on to the next topic of the evening. Xbox Series S dominates Black Friday. And
that was awesome.
I don't care what anybody says. If you're not prepared, you lost. Xbox was prepared to have something to sell on Black Friday. PlayStation wasn't. Nintendo wasn't. They both had the same luxury to be prepared, but they weren't, like Xbox was. And so, therefore, Xbox dominated out of all consoles on Black Friday weekend. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this is because, one, what did you guys think of this? Open discussion, anybody can take it. But two, what do you think about the people who are all up in arms? Oh, the chat is looking real bright right now. What do you think about certain people being all up in arms, or not up in arms, but just saying like, oh, like the only reason the Xbox sold so well is because nothing else, there was nothing else to buy, like, and the reason why there's so many Xboxes in store is because nobody really kind of wants one, which those two things make no sense if you put them together. So first question, anybody can take it. How did you feel about Black Friday weekend and Xbox Series S dominating? Anyone can go.
Dude, I was so excited to see that. I'm like, not as an Xbox fan or anything. Like, I've become like a kind of an Xbox fan recently. It's not a long-term thing. They've been doing everything right. Like that they haven't done much wrong in the last like 2 years. And Series S dominating, it's perfect because it's a good, affordable way to get into high quality gaming. Like, you have the Switch, and the Switch is great. I don't own one. I wouldn't mind owning one. I just can't justify the cost right now. But when you look at the Switch, like, it's the same cost as the Series S, but the graphics quality on them is tremendously different. And people will say, yeah, but the Switch is portable. Well, if you have Game Pass, if you get all access on the Series Series S, like, $25 a month to get your console with no upfront cost, no interest. You get Game Pass. It's like $60 cheaper in the long run. And on top of that, you get, Xbox Cloud Gaming in Game Pass Ultimate. So you're mobile anyway. You can just play on your phone. Just hook up your Xbox controller on the go. You can toggle connections. The little pairing button, you can just switch it between Bluetooth and your Xbox connection. So, like, for me, that Series S, for if you can't afford a Series X or a PlayStation 5, that's fine. They're expensive. The Series S is like that perfect middle ground where you get to enjoy next gen gaming that looks really good while still being able to, have money in your pocket without, breaking the bank. Like, it's a great option. And the fact that Microsoft was, smart enough to create that middle ground device was just brilliant, and they were ready to bring it for Black Friday. I think it's just going to be the rest of the holiday season. They're just going to be selling those like hotcakes.
GTP has a good point. Series S dominates sales due to how much more stock is available or popularity. Either way, it's a little beast and a huge value at $300. Series X has been impossible to get. Honestly, I really think people wanted this fucking machine. For lack of sorry for cursing, but it's a night show.
It's night crawlers,
right? Who cares? Like, people see, yes, an easier entry into the ecosystem through the Series S because of the price. Yeah, nobody's denying that. But people want this machine.
It's a great device.
Wanted the shit out of this machine despite wanting a Series X. Just because of the fact that I can say I have a machine like this that can do as much power that it does. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy to me. I love tech. So,
well, if anything, like, if you're a minimalist, this device is great. It's like seriously less than half the size of the Series X, so it's going to take less shelf space. So if you're in a tiny apartment or have a small desk or you don't have a lot of space in your entertainment center, like, this device is perfect. It's a fraction of the size of a Series X or a PS5.
Yep.
Like, it's not much bigger than the dock of a Switch. Like, it's only a little bit bigger than that. Like, you can fit it easily in different spots around your house or apartment or wherever.
It's what's amazing too is that for the people that still, or even like kids, that may not have all the types of means or resources or types of devices that some of us do have when traveling or going on vacation, you still have kids that want to take their Xbox and the power cords and rip them out of the wall and take it to the hotel they're going to on vacation with their parents. This is so much easier to take around.
You
Mine
can fit it in
sits.
a backpack easily.
Oh, for sure. Mine sits at the bottom corner of my L desk, and I honestly forget that it's there. And except for when I turn it on and it makes that ding sound, like I forget it's sitting down there. It's quiet, compact. It looks like Eve from Wall-E. I love it. I absolutely love it. Would I like to
Uh,
get a wrap for it so it looks like a red
Something other than
Imperial
white.
trooper from Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. But
Having other colors for it would be great, but the fact that they're making it affordable, I'm not mad that it's just white. Like
oh yeah, no.
it's affordable. They don't need to make a ton of different customizations. Like that's what the Series X is for. That's what they do with that. Like it's expensive, but they do all these crazy things for it. The Series S isn't meant to do that. It's just meant to be something that anybody can own.
Maker of Chaos 12 said, "Yeah, my friend got a Series S and he has loved his reintroduction into gaming with the Xbox and Game Pass. You tell your friend
Me
that
too.
he made a smart ass investment." And Dusty said so. Because for me, yes, don't get me wrong. Would I like to have a PS5 digital? Let me underline that. PS5 digital and play certain games like Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Ghost of Tsushima, and so on. I cannot speak right now. Yes, I would love that. But at the same time, the ease of use and being able to connect with the community. And I don't even want to say like games that are available right now. That's a discussion other people can have. But just the way, just the just how easy it is to be a part of a gaming community and what it offers you is just you want it to be streamlined, you want it to be simple yet effective, and I feel like that's what Xbox has really done well this generation. I think that's amazing for your friend Maker. Tell him I said what's up. Vegas, let's get your take on this. How do you feel?
I mean, it's another great thing that Xbox is doing. And I love my Series S. I tried to get the X, but they're hard to find. So I got my S and I love it. I mean, I could have got the X recently when I got that email that I was talking about, but I'm happy with my S. I don't really need. I mean, I got all the gaming I need. I'm good. Do I want it? Yeah, of course I want the X, but the S is great. Uh, if whoever picked those up, and they're gonna have a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's another thing too is people saying oh they got this console, they're gonna be so sad. Like we know who this is coming from, it's the fanboys, but it's just like honestly, if anybody saw that kind of messaging out there and they're watching this show right now, let us be the first to tell you that you did not waste your money. You made a very smart decision. Like I feel more confident in this purchase than I did when I purchased the 1S. You know what I mean? Like I got the 1S because it was a Black Friday discount sale for $189. That's why I got the 1S. Yes, it was cheaper. Yes, I got in, but I wish I had the 1X, to be honest. With this, I don't wish I had the Series X. I just wish I had the Halo Series X because it's a Halo Series X. I'm perfectly fine with my Series S.
Or the Series H, as they're calling it.
They 2 chains. Yeah, I know
Series
because
H.
even I don't even call it an Xbox Series X Halo Edition. I call it literally the Halo Series X. Like I don't. That's my name for it. Is the Halo Series X.
I've seen people referring to it as the Series H.
Yeah, I would too.
Let me get that.
Why
H.
not? Shit, the Series F, do a freaking Forza edition. Good grief.
Got my Forza controller. Yeah.
I will say that's one thing Xbox has always done well is customization. Like so many different versions of the same thing. Like people can buy something. Like you look at like the PlayStation, the PS5 controllers, and there's like what 3 colors. There's like white, black, or like red. I think. Other than that, you have to get skins to put on them, or buy like aftermarket ones. Like with Xbox, like you have the lab where you can design your own. You can just put so many different controller designs on it,
I need to
and
do
it's
that.
like it's like custom like printed colors to your designs. Like they put them together, so like you're not having to do a skin. It's not going to come off or rub or look weird after like a few months. Like it's gonna hold up just like as if you were to buy a controller that came with the box. Like it's Xbox has always been great about that.
Jojo, What do you think about what GTP says right here? They should have released a Halo Infinite Series S they should have released Halo Infinite Halo Infinite Series S console. That would have been cool. I ask you this because I agree with this statement, because when they first announced or showed that they were doing a Halo Series X console, I was like, well, what about the Series S? Why?
Oh, like a Halo Series S? I mean, you wouldn't be able to get one right now. I can almost guarantee you that.
Yeah.
But absolutely, like
Yeah.
that would have been really cool. So, yeah, I mean, would I have gone for a Halo Series S? I'm still going for the Series X. Like, I want that badly.
Yeah.
So having the Series S already, like, I wouldn't go for it myself, but like that would have absolutely been cool. Clearly they have the stock to, put a good bit of those out. So, for anybody who couldn't get a hold of the Halo edition of the Series X, that would have been a nice little for the fans type deal.
Now,
See,
how?
while I think it would be really cool if they did that, I think from a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense because the Series X is like the high end device. Like that's they're trying to mass produce that, but it's hard. The Series S is the mass production device. Like it would cut their bottom line down if they started customizing the Series S because that's the one they're trying to get into as many hands as possible. Like that's their popular device that they're going for. And I think that I don't think we're going to see a lot of customization on that one ever. That's what they're like, maybe a couple of years down the road. But for now, they're just trying to get as many of those out as possible. And I think that I would like to see it. I just don't think they're going to because they're right now. It's just get them in there as many hands as possible.
Yeah. One thing I would like to see, if they don't do it directly themselves, but maybe they outsource to someone else, like a third party, to make accessories like this, if they made skins available
Mm-hmm.
to like wraps, for your Series S or your Series X, and not even just wraps, but I was also thinking like a
I'm sure
shell.
D-Brand or somebody has something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna say that. I'm pretty
but
sure
like
if you search, you can definitely find that.
but like official
Skinny.
stuff, like official Xbox license stuff,
True.
and but or like a shell, like a case that you can snap together, but it goes around your console, has the open ports and everything, doesn't block your vents or anything like that. But like a connectable shell that can go around your console, and you can change the colors, or it has different graphics or things like that. It can even make it so, like, if you put a shell around, like if you're looking at the Series S, let's say you have like a red case that goes around the Series S, but now it makes the fan more like a dish that's inside a little bit, kind of gives it a different aesthetic look. Just something like that to play with, something I thought about. But it would be nice to see more of those kinds of things. Yeah, I'm sure D-Branded probably has something like that, but it would be nice to see Xbox embrace that as well too. Especially because I think with PlayStation, after the whole thing where they shut down that one company that was doing the black plates, it seemed it.
D-Brand.
Oh, that was D-Brand. Yeah, so
Yeah,
it seemed
they
as
brought
if,
a lawsuit against them a couple times because they kept trying to dodge like the word of the law. Like they kept trying to change it just enough, and PlayStation was like, no, it still looks too much like ours. Change it more.
um, but it would be nice if because what I was going to say was is that for it seems like PlayStation is going to start doing that themselves. I can't say that for sure, just from what I've seen and heard from other people. It seems like they might start doing that themselves. It would be nice to see for Xbox to get ahead of that a little bit, and offer something that I'm sure they've thought about it, but
I'm
I'm
sure they've
just,
thought about it, but with PlayStation, the thing with them is they want it to look like a PlayStation.
yeah,
They want you to look at it and know that's exactly what it is.
and that's why it
They're
needs black
they're they're
keys.
they're brand hogs. They don't want any other look for that PlayStation other than the official one because they want you to look at it and know what it is. They don't want any question about it.
Yeah,
It's just what they've always done. Like all their stuff. Like you haven't really seen customization on any PlayStations in the past because that's their mentality. It's
yeah,
like I mean, for the longest time, all Apple products looked exactly the same. Like you couldn't get any customization for a long time, unless you were getting like an iMac And now they're starting to do that a little bit more because they know that there is value to that, but they're not going to change the design at all, just the colors. And that being said, like when you buy a Mac, like it's a Mac. When you look at a Mac, you see somebody using it, that's what it is. That's what PlayStation is doing. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Now, that's what I was going to ask. Jojo, briefly, like, how does it make you feel when, or what is your take on when you see something like this, make the news and this kind of level of success, but then you see people go out of their damnedest ways to downplay it and turn it into something else? Like, obviously it's fanboyism, and it's console wars and tribalism that, we don't believe in and whatnot. But, sometimes it just really gets to a point where it's like, how is any of this conducive? How is any of this productive? Like, I don't know. Like, what do you think about it all?
Briefly, haters be hating, man. Haters be hating. That's the briefest I can put it. But I mean, you know what? Regardless of the argument of, oh well, it's just the console that's been sitting around and nobody's been buying. No, plenty of people have been buying this. It only recently became like fairly readily available, to the point where you could just go online and grab one. Xbox made some right business moves. They said, you know what, for maybe it's one of those situations like for every Xbox Series X, they can put out 2 or 3 Series S's. So, you know what? They made the smart business move. They got this out. They knew, there's some issues with getting different components for different things. So I feel like they doubled down on the Series S. It's more affordable for people, and that was their win right there. People trying to downplay it, whatever, man. Like, this is just it's your opinion versus some clear facts at that point.
Anybody else want to chime in before we move on to our next topic? Anything else anybody want to bring up?
Is the next topic the one that I sent you earlier about the news today with the legal news?
Yeah, that is the last topic of the show. Which I had seen that video before you sent it to me from Rich of Review Tech USA. So I was actually happy that you sent that because I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about that or not, but I figured it would be.
I think we should.
I think we should.
It's important.
So before we get into that, I wanted to ask real quick, what is everybody's number one go-to game right now when it comes to Xbox? If you had to choose one, what would it be?
Oh man, that's tough.
Right
I'm
now,
playing several about equally.
I know, and they're all good too.
They are. I've been playing a lot of Forza Horizon 5 by myself. I've been playing a lot of Halo Infinite with you guys and a few other people. But I've also been playing a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy by myself as well. And I'm like,
me too.
It's really hard to pick just one because all 3 of those are great games.
Man,
sure, Halo Infinite has a lot of issues right now, but it's a lot of fun.
It's interesting because, yeah, like you said, it has issues, but it feels so fun to play that it's like, and you see them working on it as you're like around you as you're playing it, so it's just, once launch day hits next Wednesday on the 8th.
Hopefully they'll have some patches to fix some of these issues, like the cheat bots as well as the phasing. Like Nez and I were doing some experimenting in customs last night, trying to figure out how to take advantage of it since other people are doing it. Like not really take advantage of it, but like how to protect yourself from it more than anything.
Yeah.
Where basically like sometimes when you run into someone, you bump and you shift. But other times you walk right through and you can turn around and you can backslap somebody and kill them instantly.
Yeah.
And that's like a glitch in the game, but that people are using. And so it's like, you got to watch out for it. Like there's lots of little things like that. Another one that's kind of big is, you go and hide behind a rock or behind a box or something, a container, and you die while behind the box because there's a lag between when you drop and when the other person shoots. So it senses that you're still standing and you're getting hit even though you've already been down.
Huh.
So that's a
Interesting.
weird glitch, that, especially like a lot of the high, like for us that aren't quite as good, it's not a big deal. But like when you're playing like in like highly competitive modes, I was watching people on Twitch play it the other day, and I saw several people complaining about it. Like they were like, "I'm tired of getting killed behind a box or behind a rock." Like it's not by a grenade or by somebody from a different angle. It's somebody from the same angle from the other side. They're shooting through because it basically it's delayed and it's hitting them after the fact. Like there's glitches like that. Like I still enjoy playing it with you guys. I'm having a lot of fun playing it, but they need to fix those things because people are about to start rage quitting. People are demanding, because of the cheat bots, they're demanding that people that they remove the crossplay.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get it with the crossplay and the cheating and all that stuff, but I mean, like, what shooter game does not experience that? Even with the most minimal bugs as possible, what shooter game does not experience those things? Yes, they do need to be fixed and need to be changed, but for people to really just like, oh my god, I'm gonna quit Halo because of so many cheaters. Like I have crossplay on for console, and I honestly half the time I just feel like I'm getting wrecked. Like I don't, like it's nothing more than just I suck and they rock. Like
I
we're
don't,
just
I don't think we see it as much because we're like lower ranked, but like when you're in
yeah.
the higher ranks, you see it more because people are more vested and they've cheated their way to
Oh
the
yeah,
top.
that could be it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
And
that's
then
where you see it more.
I feel that, but my thing is that, and I'm not gonna use the beta argument. The thing is that the game multiplayer released barely a few weeks ago. I get that they're already having esports tournaments online and whatnot, which is great to watch. They've been a joy to actually watch, which is crazy because I don't usually watch esports tournaments like that. But all in all, is I just can ask people just be patient. Like it's gonna get there. It's not even fully released yet. Once it's released, I predict there will be a day one patch or a patch immediately following launch. And people will be too busy to even notice because they'll be in campaign as well. So everyone just give it some time. No, we don't need to get our panties in a twist, but I understand the
Yeah.
frustration, especially when
I
you've
mean,
worked towards a high rank. I get it,
like
but
you look at the chat, like, like John was saying, he's higher ranked than us. Like we know that. We've seen him play
yeah.
with us. And like he hasn't seen it yet. So it's like it's not like rampant, but it's a nuisance for a lot of people. But it's not like all the time. And then like with Mega Chaos, yeah, it has to be at the kernel level to fix it. But then you're also looking at it makes it harder to do that in cloud game as well, which Xbox is focused on making their games readily accessible on all devices, and putting it at the kernel level for an anti-cheat like that makes it really hard to do. So they had to find some other solution, because like that anti-cheat software, that's the reason like games like Valorant won't play on Shadow, and it's the reason that like EA is having issues with GFN, GeForce Now, is their anti-cheat software is trying to block people from doing things they shouldn't, which is making it hard to play on multiple devices, which are on different server blades.
Mm.
And that's kind of an issue with that when you're trying to do it at the kernel level.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know it's tricky. I know there's a lot of work that goes into it, but patience is always a virtue.
And
I'm having a
even
blast though.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
fun.
it is. It is fun. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying they need to find some solutions to those fixes, because people
I
are
agree.
complaining. I'm seeing lots of
I agree.
videos on YouTube of people that are either high ranked or people that are exposed to a lot of people's videos. They're getting complaints about these from other people, and they're reporting them to Xbox and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they expected it though. That's why they released it. Okay, they're gonna have some problems, but by the 9th we should have everything, or the 8th. When's it come out? The 8th or the 9th?
Eighth.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the
Isn't
8th
isn't
we
isn't
should
the
have it
eighth when the
good.
Game Awards is as well?
No, that's the
Or is that
ninth.
the ninth? That's the
That's the
ninth.
ninth.
Okay.
It's the day after.
Okay.
Man, I'm gonna be playing
That'll be
campaign and
fun.
only watching trailers. I don't care nothing about the awards. Let's not even talk about it.
The
But I
awards
Um,
are gonna be
mean, with
fun.
that whole cheating thing, like even if you make an option for console players to turn crossplay off, like I can tell you,
It would be
like,
nice.
I've played a lot of Rogue Company on PC, on PlayStation. I tried it on Switch. That's just awful to me, though. Um, and I've played it on Xbox, and it got to a point where, like, my one of the things that I enjoyed was playing it on PC. I just enjoyed the frames I was getting from it. I enjoyed the way it looked, and it was real smooth. But I started to notice that I had trouble queuing up for matches on PC because all the console players were turning off their crossplay. Like, I would go on PC, try to get into a rank match, and it would take like 10, 15 minutes to get into a match. I would go on my PlayStation and I would be insta-queued into a ranked match. So trying to turn off the crossplay as an option I really don't think that's going to be the big solution. I think that's just going to kill the game on PC. Yeah, plenty of people will still play it on Xbox, but you'll see the PC level decline, and then what follows that usually is the esports level too.
Mm. Yeah. I totally lost my train of thought. Um, wow.
See a pine cone?
Yeah. I had two thoughts going at the same time, and then they ran into each other, and I went blank. But yes, I agree with everything that that you were saying. There does need to be substantial fixes, but as we've both all been saying as well at the same time, it has been wildly a fun game. Like this, I
Mhm.
haven't had this much fun in so long with a shooter game, let alone a Halo game, and I'm excited for the future. And when co-op comes for a campaign as well as Forge for multiplayer.
Mhm.
That's going to be an absolute blast, especially Forge. I think that's going to be freaking wonderful once it arrives. I wish Forge wasn't taking as long as it's going to take, but hey, Halo Infinite itself took a year to get it right, and here we are now. So take all the time that they need. F it. This is supposed to be a 10-year plus game. So, we haven't even cracked the surface yet. So, um,
And there's been plenty of broken games that launched and then got fixed later.
yeah,
Sea of Thieves is a prime example.
yeah,
But
and
there's so many others as well. And this
Way
isn't even
worse
like a
too.
fully broken game. Like this game it's playable. It's fun. Like yes, people have complaints, but people have complaints about any game that launches,
yeah,
especially these days because the games are so powerful with so much going on in them that there's bound to be something broken or something wrong, and they're going to complain about it. It's just a matter of what that complaint is and how hard or how easy it is to fix it and how much time it takes.
yeah, yeah, and I do get the side of like, well, don't release a game until it's finished. But when you're releasing a game that's online or a game that's live service or what have you, there's a lot of things like if you're not a developer, you don't understand. I'm not a developer, but I have the mind to be able to understand somewhat of the perspective. And, you know, sometimes shit just goes wrong that you don't foresee, and the best you can do is remedy it with a patch or an update as soon as you possibly can, connect with your community as best as you can. I think that's probably the most important part so that the player base knows what's going on. um and then from there all can be right again. Like people can say what they want to say about Cyberpunk and they have all the right to say it. Where the game is at now, especially how people feel about it after that $10 sale that they just had, it's
Other
having,
sales blew up. Like
yeah,
they went
it's,
like they felt like they were stagnant for a while, and all of a sudden, like everybody's buying Cyberpunk again.
and people are enjoying the game. And if you look on Twitter, you see people messaging saying it's amazing to see people enjoying the game that we enjoyed when it first came out on whether it was Stadia or GeForce Now, because that's where you were able to play it without any major issues. Like,
Other than next gen consoles or like high end computers,
but
like
even then, the night of the I remember that night like the back of my hand. That release night when Cyberpunk came out, every platform except for GFN and Stadia, you were seeing so many people having issues. Yes, it was playable on next gen consoles, but people were still having so many major issues. But on
I
Stadia,
feel like a lot of those were like bugs and like glitches. Like they weren't like
no, but I
performance
mean, like
issues.
these were
Yeah,
like
yeah. There were
these
issues, but they
these
weren't
were
performance issues.
unplayable issues, bro. Like these
Yeah.
were literally bad issues, like that people were having.
They
And
were port issues, not they weren't like issues with the consoles or the hardware
no,
not
no,
being
no,
able to
that's not what
handle
I'm
it.
saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying
Yeah.
is that the game was not playable pretty much for a lot of people on every platform, for the exception of Stadia and GFN. That
Mhm.
night, I remember it perfectly
Oh, I
because
agree. I remember that.
because I do remember all of us in the Discord. We all like it was like as if we all ran to each other because we all saw online, the release happened. We were all excited. And you started seeing messages like the game's not working. Oh my God, it's broken. I can't play it. But then you go back into Discord and it was like, yo, I'm playing it. It's fun. Like I just did this mission in here and yo, look at this screenshot and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, what is happening? This is wild. Now, it's not to say that like cloud gaming is better than console or PC gaming. That's not where this conversation is
They
going.
just got lucky with that more than
It was
anything.
just crazy how it happened, right?
It was timing.
But that's what people are saying is it's amazing to see that people on PC or next gen consoles, whatever, but mainly PC because that's where the big sale happened, are finally enjoying the game the way it's supposed to be enjoyed. And that makes me happy because yes, it did suck the way it launched, but who made it suck? It was the board and the execs. It wasn't the developers. The developers wanted more time to wait. We know that now. But it was the head honchos that were like, no, we got an agenda. We got to push this out. And look what you did to your own shit.
Well,
But
to be fair, CD Projekt Red and those devs, like they've been pushing it back like 2 or 3 years. Like they pushed it back so
they
many
needed to
times.
push it back another year.
I don't think that would have helped. Like I think there were still going to be issues. Like there's some issues like when you make a game like that aren't going to come to light until it's out. And I think that at that point, you pushed it back like 5 times. You should just release it, figure out what the issues are, and then fix them. You're going to have some bad publicity, but you got a long road ahead of you. You can fix that. There's no way to fix everything before launch these days, especially like with open world games like that are that powerful.
And I completely agree. And I actually said that myself a couple of minutes ago. I completely agree with that. But the thing is that a lot of the fixes that they have been doing, the developers have been vocal in saying this is what we needed more time on. We knew this was the stuff that we needed to fix. Yes, there are a lot of things that they didn't realize that went wrong that they needed to fix, which is what I said earlier. When you launch a game, there are things that can go wrong that you don't foresee. However, a lot of these fixes that they have been making, these were the fixes that they were like clamoring for, that they needed extra time for. And that's where the head honchos at CDPR really messed up. That's in the past now. The major point is that it's just beautiful to see where the game is now and where it still has the potential to be because we have the next gen release coming Q1 2022. Has anyone here gone back to Cyberpunk recently or is going to go back soon?
I bought it from Best Buy for $10 like 6-7 months ago. Maybe not that long. It's been like at least 3 or 4 months. I played it for like an hour and a half. I'll play it eventually. It's just, it's not Cyberpunk games aren't my thing. Like I liked The Ascent. I thought that was a great game. I
Yeah,
thought it was a
I have
lot
to
of
go back to
fun,
that.
but I still only played that for like 2 or 3 hours. Like
Sorry to cut
Cyberpunk
you off.
games,
Sorry to cut you off.
go
Are
ahead.
you down to do a stream for The Ascent? Like go back to it anytime soon? Because I want to go back.
I could do that.
Yes. Okay, continue.
I just that genre, cyberpunk in general, it's just never appealed to me. Like I read a lot of books and watch a lot of movies, and like cyberpunk is like out of all the sci-fi and fantasy subgenres, it's one of my least favorites. It's not just the games; it's just that genre of storytelling and timeline in general just isn't that appealing to me. And I know that's I know that's like a lot of people love cyberpunk. It's a huge genre, like people love it, and it's not for me. Like I'll play it, I enjoy it, just not as much as other things. Like I get sidetracked by other things very easily because of it.
What do you think, Vegas?
I picked up Cyberpunk when it first came out on Stadia with I think you got a
The Premier
Chromecast.
Edition.
Yeah, it's Premiere. I gave it to my nephew because he
Yeah,
had
that's how I got one
Stadia.
as well. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I played. I had a good time. I mean, I might go back to it. I didn't. I had some problems when I was playing, and I stopped, and I can't remember what I jumped into next, and I just need to get back to it. But I had fun when I was playing it. When wasn't it supposed to have a co-op on in that game?
That's not. I don't think that's supposed to come out for like another like 6 months to a year. It is
Oh, really?
supposed to come
Okay.
out eventually, but that got delayed like a long time.
Yeah, and they haven't really talked much about it. They kind of act as if like it's not really there, but I
They
still
haven't
think
mentioned it much.
yeah. But I do like Ben said, I do believe it is still coming, and whatnot.
Yeah, the
I think
game's
that
cool. I
game
mean, I like it.
in a couple of DLCs, that game is going to be amazing. It's just right now, it's okay. The fact that it's up for Game of the Year is to me mind-boggling because I don't think it deserves that quite yet. Like after you do a couple of like a DLC or two, I think it might be up for it more. But it's just yeah, it'll get there. I think it like 3 or 4 years from now, we're going to talk about that like as great as being as great as like The Witcher or something like that. But right now, I don't think it's quite there yet.
What about you, Jojo? How do you feel about Cyberpunk?
So
Since we're on the subject.
yeah, I kind of seen all the hype going around that game, and I just kind of held back. I still do not own Cyberpunk yet, and
Hmm.
then I seen the loads of issues pouring in. There was one screenshot of it that looked like they photoshopped Keanu Reeves into Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and I actually asked Game Tech Planet. I showed it to him. I was like, "Is this really a screenshot or is this Photoshop?" And he goes, "No, that's Cyberpunk running on the PS4. That's what it looks
Yeah.
like." I'm like, "Holy hell!" Like, wow.
Damn.
So I held off, but I've been hearing a lot of really good things about it. I've been keeping my eye on sales for it and whatnot, so that's going to be something I pick up here soon. It's just one of the things I've been holding off on buying games in general just because I've got a lot that I'm playing right now. So
Yeah.
I got to work on the backlog just a little bit. I have the PS5. I got to finish the Final Fantasy VII remake. I got to start and finish Ghost of Tsushima. Like I've got a lot of really good games to play right now. So being able to hold out for a nice deep cut and a sale on that game, like that's when I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger. I also that's the type of game that you usually end up finding on Game Pass as well. Like look at Fallout 76, that hit Game Pass because of how much of a train wreck the release was.
Well, that hit Game Pass because Bethesda was in a partnership with Microsoft at the time. Like they were trying to build that
Yeah.
relationship and the buyout and all that stuff. Now all the Bethesda games are on there, but that's different.
But
Go ahead.
like that's one game that I am pretty sure that you're gonna see hit Game Pass, even if it's just temporarily. I'm sure you're gonna see it hit. So I'm just kind of holding out for now, but I like what I'm seeing. I've been hearing a lot of really good things about the improvements they made on that game. So and I have the consoles to run that game properly. So like I've got the PS5. I'm working on the Series X. I have the Series S if I need be. So I've got the hardware for it. So I'm just kind of biding my time and catching up on my backlog right now.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I bought Cyberpunk, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Resident Evil Village for the price of just one of those games. I bought all three of them.
Nice.
So I bought Cyberpunk for $10 at Best Buy, the steel cover edition, like a few months ago, and then over Black
I wish I
Friday,
had
I bought Guardians of the Galaxy for $30 on Amazon for the Series X, and then I bought Resident Evil Village from GameStop for $20.
And I just got to make mention, I'm seeing this going on in chat, and Anthem was so fun to play, and that really didn't need a lot of work. Like the things wrong with that game were not game breaking, and they just were like, nope, we're done, scrapped it.
I think EA has learned their lesson from that. I think they know they made a mistake, but it's too late to go back. So I think the games they're coming up with now, like if there's issues with it, they don't just drop them now. Like they're trying to fix those issues because people complain that they quit on Anthem too quickly.
It was so fun to play, so
Yeah.
fun.
Iron Man Simulator is what people call it. I wanted to play it, and by the time I got around to actually having the resources to wanting to play it, it died. So there went that. It still shows up on my EA Play Pro, which is funny, but um, no, that was a game I definitely wanted to see go far, and I'm really sad that it didn't. And I know many people, especially the player bases specifically, were heartbroken about that. But you know, only time will tell where another game comes out and replaces it, and hopefully gives fans what they were looking for out of that game, or what they should have gotten that they didn't receive.
I
So
think probably the next, well, maybe not EA, but I think the next big game that people are gonna like talk about that's not gonna come out for a while still, but I think that open world Star Wars game that Ubisoft is working on is gonna be amazing. I think people are gonna love that.
yeah,
It's I think that's gonna catch people off guard. Like a lot of people are gonna call it cringe and stuff, but when they start playing it, I think it's just gonna suck them in. We don't know much about it yet. I just think the fact that Ubisoft got rights to that when EA has had rights to Star Wars games for over a decade now, like what, 2 decades almost.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, seems like it. So
That I think Ubisoft has to bring it. Like they can't half-ass this. They have to do a really good Star Wars game, especially if it's going to be an open world game. It can't just be a grind where you're just spending like 40 minutes crossing, to get from one town to another or one planet to another just to be able to grind some more. Like they have to have a well-built, well-fleshed out open world game. Otherwise, it's just like, what was the point of EA losing that? Like losing the exclusivity to that.
Jerry,
Also-
you have Titanfall 3. It's called Apex Legends. Kidding.
I'm also looking forward to see what they're going to do with Avatar as well.
Yeah.
That one,
Harry
my hopes
Potter?
are the preview. The preview for that looked hype, but I don't see how they're gonna really. I just don't see that one becoming big for some reason.
I don't know. I think that one's going to be massive. If they're trying
There's
to
a
go
lot-
for that big ass world that they were talking about,
There's a lot of people that love Avatar, but there's also a lot of people that hate Avatar. Like it's a
who hates
very
Avatar?
everybody that says that it was like a flat out rip off of either Pocahontas or Ferngully, like all 90s and 80s kids. There's so many people that
Oh my God.
hate the story and they're so turned off by it that they won't even give that game a chance because it has the Avatar label on it. Like
I've never seen these people.
I've seen a lot of them. I think that game's gonna struggle more than people think it is.
Well, my thing is, a lot of people who watch the movie don't game. So, if the game
But
has
But
massive
if you
open
say
world-
that, people that didn't watch the movie aren't going to play the game because they don't have a reason to play the game other than the fact that it's a game.
unless it has the appeal, because people can because with games, like there's a lot of people who liked Elden Ring, that like some gamers that I looked at, I was like, I did not expect you to actually be so hyped about this game, and they're super
I won't
hyped.
play that.
I feel like the outlook on games is a little bit different than movies sometimes. I can understand why people might not have liked Avatar, but to say that it was a lot like Pocahontas, I don't know. I've never heard that, but I'll have to watch it again and see that part.
It's more like Ferngully than Pocahontas. If you rewatch it, it's basically like they got
I
sued
can
by the
see
Ferngully
Ferngully.
people because they basically ripped off the script. Like it's almost identical scene for scene if you look at it.
My dad did sound work for Fringoli, so I'll check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I just feel like even if people didn't watch Avatar or didn't really care for it, if the game and gameplay is epic to the degree of what they were describing this game is going to be, especially having to create a whole brand new mechanic for the flight system because of how fast you need to travel and how far you need to go because of how big this thing is supposed to be. I think it could work. I think I think it could really grab people and maybe even potentially push them into going back to watching the film. But at the same time, it could also be a huge flop. It could go both ways. Only time will tell, so we don't know. I think if they stick to what they said they're trying to do, I think it could work. I think it could be a big hit. Could it be a big hit like Starfield? No, because I think Starfield is going to be absolutely massive. But I think it could be something special on its own. What do you think, Vegas? What do you think about the Avatar game?
I'm looking forward to it. Man. Like I said, anytime there's a new game coming, I don't care about anything else. I don't care if you don't like the game. If it's fun and I've had a good time, it's all good for me. I don't need to hear anybody else's opinion. It's just what I like. That's all that matters. If you have a good time, I'm good. Let's go.
Joe, are you looking forward to Avatar?
I'm looking forward to see what's going on with it. I'm gonna take the cyberpunk stance with that.
Just wait and see.
Yeah,
Huge
exactly.
grain of salt. Huge.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Ever since what was it? Like honestly, the anthem burn is real. Even though that was more so something that was, I would say that's more on the devs there. But even more so than that, I picked up like Fallout 76, like I'd say about 2 or 3 months after it came out. And even at that point, that game was like, there was just so much. And I've heard that Fallout games are known for like some serious like glitches and, some things like that going on. But I mean, like, there was just some stupid stuff. I was playing one time and I'm in this area where it's like these mutated dogs and they're fairly easy mobs to kill. Well, one of them took the sprite of a telephone pole. I took a clip of it. It was a dog with the sprite of a telephone pole. I couldn't hit the hitbox because, like, it's a freaking 20-foot telephone pole. And this little mob took and killed me, and I had to run back, grab my stuff. It was just super annoying. So, like, honestly, it's a little bit of burn from, like, Anthem, a little bit of burn from Fallout 76. That, when these big games come out, if it's not like a series of games that I religiously play, like, I have no questions about whether I'm going to buy a Pokemon game day one, like something along the lines of that. If it's not one of those type of games, I'm going to sit back, I'm going to chill, and I'm going to see what it's all about.
Yeah, that's my stance. I'll buy tech day one, but I won't buy games day one. I'll buy games like early if people like I have a few friends that I trust to give me a good opinion on a game and tell me whether it's worth buying. The big ones that I like, if Game Tech Planet says that it's good and says play it, buy it, then I will jump on that early on. Duncan from Claudia Games is another one that if he says buy it, I will probably I'll get it sooner rather than later. But most games I'll wait a few months to see like if all the bugs get fleshed out, see how it looks, see how it works, check the reviews. Like I'm not going to buy anything. I don't pre-order any games. It's just not worth it to me. There's too much risk with most games these days. Like I bought Guardians of the Galaxy earlier than I thought I would because I found a good deal on it. I've been wanting it for like since it came out because like Game Tech Planet and Duncan were just like telling me, it's like this game is amazing. Like you should play it. Like you're going to love it. And they told me all the reasons why because they know me. Yeah, the music is a big one, but the banter, like everything going on in that game. And I know that John in the chat, like he would hate that game because everything that's great about that game are the things he hates about Marvel. I just know that about him personally. But I've been having a blast with that game. I found it for half off during Black Friday. Great deal. Totally worth it for that price. Highly recommend it if you can find it on a sale. Even at $60, it's a great game. It's a lot of fun. Like even during boring, slow moments, like there's just so much banter going on. Like everything you do, the team the team reacts to it. It's just it's an intelligent game. Like you turn the wrong way, they're gonna start giving you shit. You start doing something wrong, they're gonna start giving you shit. It's a lot of people like them giving you shit for stupid shit, and it's fun.
Ain't that some shit?
Yes, it is.
Real
It's
quick,
a good time. It's a good fun game.
my fiance was texting me while you were talking, and she was asking me how to log into my youngest stepdaughter's Google Stadia account. So my youngest stepdaughter is logging onto Stadia right now. That's special to me because she hasn't touched it in a while, because she's a growing young girl and her older sister is a teenager, and all they want to do is listen to BTS and K-pop, which is fine. But you know, she does love gaming. She loves Roblox, like that's her thing. But to hear her playing Stadia again just puts a smile on my face. I think she's gonna play the Spirit game, about the horse.
Yeah.
She loves that cartoon.
My daughter loves that cartoon.
Yeah, it's a really good young girls cartoon, I have to admit.
It's a good cartoon in general. Like they've done a good job with it. I've watched it with her. Like it's good. Like the story is good. The characters are good. Like even the animation is decent, considering that it's cheap, quick made animation from a Netflix original, like a DreamWorks Netflix original.
Yeah.
It's well done.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give them crap about it. If you need a good kids game, I would say that's a good one. Like yes, it's mainly targeted at girls, but boys would probably have fun too. Like I don't think it's a gender specific game. It's just that cartoon tends to appeal to girls more.
Yeah. It's no wonder that DreamWorks did a good job with that property, because you can thank my dad for that. He helped build it. Anyway,
the original Brad Pitt cartoon.
Well, now I'm talking about the company.
DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
which is owned by Comcast anyway, but you know.
But started from Universal.
I know. Well, Comcast, Universal, NBC, all the same company.
Not at that time.
No, not at that time. Now it is.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about when it first happened. Yeah, my dad had a lot to do. Actually, he had a lot to do with DreamWorks, and then he had a lot to do with Dolby Digital and DTS, to the point where they still call him, and I think that's amazing.
That's awesome.
But yeah, nowadays, yes, times have changed. Seeing NBC, Universal, or even Comcast, whenever I did, it was just weird. The way the things always changed, I don't know. It was just always weird because you grow up.
I remember when I worked at Comcast. Comcast owned the majority stock in Hulu. They basically controlled it, and then Disney bought Fox and flipped it. So Hulu is owned by Disney just by majority share because they own Fox.
Crazy,
because it was almost a three-way split at that time, like 5 years ago. Actually, it wasn't even that long. It was like 4 years ago, between like Fox, Hulu, and Comcast. But Comcast had the slight lead on that. And then like once Disney bought Fox, it was over, and Hulu became their property just by proxy.
Yeah,
I like following stories like that of companies acquiring other companies and like who owns what and what goes where with certain acquisitions. Like I follow all that shit. I think it's fun.
No, it's always good to know the behind the scenes details and the inner workings, because you never really know what changes hands and when it happens if you're not paying attention. And you know, when you see it going on, you're like, oh wow, this is happening and that's happening.
The gaming industry does the same thing. Like I'm always fascinated by all the business decisions they make, because like when I was at Comcast, I was there when they first started the purchase of Sky, and people were like, Americans like, what the fuck is Sky? I'm like, Sky is like DirecTV's main competitor pretty much everywhere in the world except for the US.
Yeah, you know, Skynet. Terminator, duh.
That's Skynet, but yeah, it's huge. It's massive, and that was a huge acquisition for them. Like, but Americans just didn't get it because it doesn't exist here.
So off topic, we need to get to this last topic because I want to get you guys out.
This is important.
But Maker of Chaos 12 says Guardians of the Galaxy is very good. They do have a bit too much talking banter. Now, somebody else said this, so I don't disagree with you because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But I will say this. That is the whole point of the Guardians of the Galaxy. That is what they're known for, and that is what it's supposed to be about, is their talking and banter. I know it's not for everybody, and maybe some parts get drawn on a little bit too long. I understand that, but that is what it's supposed to be because that is what they've always been. But I am happy that you're enjoying the game. I'm happy that Ben is enjoying the game. I am angry that I don't have the game still, but that's fine. I'll get it eventually.
I told you it was on sale. You should have bought. Well, no, you have the Series S. You wouldn't have been able to buy it for $30 because it was the physical copy.
I mean,
that's the downside of the Series S is you can't buy games when they're on sale like that from other retailers. You can only buy them from Xbox. That's the one downside of the Series S.
The only time I care about a physical copy is if it's a steelbook. Other than that, I don't ever game physical copies anymore, and I haven't for a very long time.
If I didn't have the Series X, I wouldn't have been able to buy Resident Evil for $20. I wouldn't have been able to buy Guardians of the Galaxy.
I understand that.
Guardians of the Galaxy, it was really close. I think it was like 32 or $35 on Xbox if you go through the Microsoft store. So that was a close deal. But like Cyberpunk hasn't been down to $10. I found that like officially through a retailer, through Best Buy. Like that was a huge deal. But that's the plus side of having being able to put in a disc into your console. But you don't necessarily need to do that. There's some great deals online without it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you use like something like CD keys or whatever, like the gray market stuff, like you can still buy the codes and just punch them in. Like you still get some good deals.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's dope. It's dope that you and a lot of other people got to take advantage of those deals. I think they're sick. But like I said, like for me, I don't really like for those kinds of deals for physicals. I don't really pay attention to them because I'm never going to buy a physical unless it's like a special edition. But what I wish I did was get the $10 Cyberpunk PC sale because that was the Steam sale, right? When did that end? Because that's over now, isn't it? Or is it still going?
That was a Black Friday deal, but it only lasted like 2 days. It wasn't a very long one. Yeah. Like they didn't like most of the Black Friday deals lasted like 2 or 3 weeks, which I don't get the point why you call it a Black Friday deal when it's like half of November. Like it's not a Black Friday deal at that point. It just happens to coincide with Black Friday. But when you do something, like when you do like a 2-day deal or like a 48, 72-hour deal during Black Friday, that makes sense. And that was what that was with the PC sale on that.
And nice, Maker of Chaos actually beat the game last night. That's what's up. Nice, bro. Nice.
This is one game like I haven't finished a game in years, and this is one game I could see myself finishing.
That's what's up. I like it when a game pulls you in like that. When you, especially because this was a game a lot of people were really just trying to pass over. Like nobody was expecting this one, and then like it dropped and
it's because Avengers sucked. Avengers had so many issues, and they just took like every complaint people had about Avengers, and they fixed it in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, they fixed it by not having multiplayer.
That was a big fix.
Yeah. But
not having to constantly level up like every single one of your characters to be able to do anything half decent. Like that's another one. Like being able to just play as one character and improve all of them, like while you're playing, improve the ones you want to for certain aspects. That was another important fix that they did for Guardians over Avengers.
It seemed more like a skill tree from.
It's a skill tree based thing where you have multiple characters you can do their skill trees for, but you can pick and choose which ones you like more. Like, with Avengers, like if you want to do the campaigns and you want to do them well and you want to be a completionist, like you have to level up all of them.
Yeah. Let's get into.
I agree, Maker. Like it didn't have good. The Avengers didn't have good dialogue. The story on that was just like half-assed.
Yeah. Let's get into the last topic now because we have to. Good grief. Yes, he does. Sorry, Maker. We really have to get into the last topic. But pretty much there has been a new bill being proposed to stop the online
Scalpers.
botting. Yes, to stop the online botting that has been happening, not just in gaming, but in all of online shopping. So this new bill is supposed to counter and combat this huge issue because I can't even get a fresh pair of Nikes from the sneakers app properly because of bots. I freaking hate it. But pretty much, I have an article in front of me from CNET that I'm going to refer to. Yes, several different people have reported on this. Rich of Review Tech USA is one of them, a prominent person who reported on this. But the article I have in front of me is from CNET. If it's a horrible article, don't blame me. It's the article I have. Democrats announce bill to stop bots from stealing Christmas. Pretty much. Politicians attempt to resurrect the Stopping Grinch Bots Act as the 2021 holiday shopping season hits full stride. A group of Democratic lawmakers from the House and Senate on Monday introduced the Stopping Grinch Bots Act in an attempt to curb the trend of bots scooping up entire inventories of the hottest holiday gifts online and selling them at often ridiculously inflated prices. These so-called Grinch bots make it virtually impossible to get popular gifts online at retail prices, forcing online shoppers to overpay or miss out. Now, that's all I'm pretty much going to read because there's a lot more about the article. You can look it up on CNET. The only reason that's a lot I'm going to read is because I actually want to turn it over to Ben. Ben, would you like to give your take and knowledge on this current situation?
Sure. I didn't read that article. I saw Rich's video, and from what it sounded like, the main thing they're going after is like the chip shortages. Like you have semiconductor shortages, and then you have supply chain issues. And between those, it's like a double whammy for like bots. Like they're just taking everything they can and selling everything at least double the price. And that's, basically they're trying to save stock issues on both consoles as like Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, doesn't matter, as well as like CPUs, GPUs, all the things that you need, because those are important not just for gamers. Like those are important for like businesses. Like you have any kind of business that needs any kind of graphics power at all. Like there are so many industries that need those and they can't get them without paying ridiculous money, because like before third-party companies can even get them like that, they're just, there's already limited resources, and if you don't scoop them up right away, they're gone. And then the only way you can get them is at ridiculous prices, which hurts everybody. It hurts industries, not just people. And that's kind of why they're going after this. It's big in so many ways. It should have been talked about a while ago. I'm glad they're talking about it. I wish they would have started this like 6 months ago before the holiday season. Because at this point, they're not going to finish this bill before like February or March. And by that point, the holiday season is going to be over. But it needs to be done because this chip shortage and supply chain issue is predicted to go on until like at least early 2023, maybe halfway through. And if the pandemic goes on, if we have more if we have more versions of COVID, like it could go longer. But the minimum that people are anticipating right now for supply chain issues with like electronics and stuff like that, and chip shortages, like they're expecting at least early 2023 before that stuff starts getting fixed.
I mean, yeah, it's going to take time. Obviously, anything, like nothing happens, instantly. But it's just, it gives hope because I don't know if that's a weird word to use, but it just sucks when you go online hoping for something, especially when it's for like someone like me who is an avid, shoe collector.
Mm-hmm.
You look forward to a drop, you look forward to a release.
Yeah.
And you have to wait. Sometimes you have to wake up at 7 a.m. for this shit. Okay. And on a Saturday.
Or be on at like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah. Depending where you live, like, sometimes even worse than that. And it's just, Like you spend that effort and you spend that time, and if it's exclusive and everybody got to it and you couldn't get one, okay, that's what happens. That's how the game works. But when you click on something and not even 2 seconds later, it's gone out of your hands. Like the
So
Razer face
fast.
mask. The Razer face mask. I had it in my cart 3 times and was ripped from me. At this point, I don't care about it anymore. Like they owe me one as far as I care because that was trash. And then the second time they did it, the second release, I had it in my cart 2 times and it got ripped from me. And they said, "Oh, everything's going to be fine now." No, nothing was fine. And not even just me, but for like almost everybody else that I saw that was like on Twitter that was like excited to get one went back on Twitter to say same thing happened all over again.
Mhm.
It's trash.
And
And
honestly, this should have been part of the original bill because this is like an amendment basically to the original bill, which was for concerts and sporting events. Because if you go to like Ticketmaster or whatever, like there were so many bots that were scraping up everything so that they could sell like tickets to like, a Broncos game or an Eagles game or a Foo Fighters concert or whatever, like concerts that go for a lot of money. And they were selling them for like 3 times the price because they could. And so they had to fix that quickly, but they should have done that for online shopping in general
yeah,
because it's a big issue and it has been for 2 or 3 years now at least.
yeah.
Happens a lot in Vegas for the
Yes.
concerts in Vegas. My wife would be
Hmm.
on the computer waiting to buy a concert ticket, and not only is it gone, when you refresh the page, they're all available again, but for like $400 or $500 a seat. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Mm,
I'm not paying $1,000 to go see a concert.
Mm-mm.
Luckily, I have connections and I can get in sometimes, but
Yeah.
I'm not paying $1,000 to see a concert.
yeah, no. Like I walk a fine line of resell, right? I understand the resell game. It's been there for a very long time, and I have nothing against the resell game. If somebody was able to legitimately get their hands on 3 PS5s and they wanted to flip them, that's the resell game. I don't mind that.
Yeah, that's
If,
fine because like I've got friends that do that. They walk into Best Buy and they see a Series X, like, oh, I'm gonna pick one up. I'm gonna
and
sell it
flip
for
it,
three or
right?
four hundred dollars more. Like, fine, whatever.
Yeah,
Like
and
that's
so
fine.
like,
Like you're
and
you're a person that sees it and they're like, why not make profit on it? I
yeah,
found one. Let me help somebody else get it.
yeah, but like somebody who like got 3 PS5s because they botted that shit, like that's where I have a problem because then you fucked with the system and you fucked over other people to get shit the wrong way. Like the person who got 3 PS5s, like if they had 3 different accounts on 3 different stores to get the 3 PS5s, well, they still did it legitimately. That's they didn't do anything wrong.
Hmm.
But if you're using an automated bot to go into a website to automatically rip it from somebody's cart, like like when an item is in your cart, it's supposed to be limited to you until
For
you
a
either
certain time
purchase it
frame, a certain
or
amount of time.
or it expires the time frame. You get like 2 hours. If it's not a big
Even
release, you get
15
24
minutes. Like
hours.
I've seen a lot of carts where it's 15 minutes. And for
Yeah,
that, like that's even reasonable to make a decision.
even
Like
10
if
minutes.
you're putting it in your cart, you should be ready to buy it. It shouldn't take you more than 10 or 15 minutes to finish buying it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
Like it's
just
a tight time frame, but it should be doable.
yeah, like if I had the Razor mask in my cart, it shouldn't have been ripped from me when I went to go to checkout. No, it should be there until it's like, well, you have 10 seconds left. Do you want this or not? Like, oh, I want it. Okay, I'll get it right now. Like it should not be when I add it to cart, it's added to cart, and then I go to checkout, it's not there. Like that, and that you restock, and that happens 3 more times, but it's so fast to the point where it's like, no, this isn't people buying it. This is straight body. Like, and then everybody online is complaining that nobody got one, and it's way too many people where it's like, okay, like, come on, what is this? Jojo, what do you think, bro? Like,
It's a big problem, and it definitely needs to be handled. But it's also creating like there's some There's like a ripple effect coming from it as well. Like you're seeing some companies doing some things that they're saying, "Oh, we're doing this to combat the bots." Prime example, Monday, I attempted to get a Series X through Walmart. I follow some of the people on Twitter who do the, do the announcements for the restocks and whatnot. So, leading up to it, they're like, oh, you need Walmart Plus, sign up for the free trial. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to prep for it. I signed up for the free trial of Walmart Plus. Monday comes along. It was 12 noon Eastern. I take my lunch break 5 minutes before 12. I go sit in my car. I got my phone out. I'm ready to go. 12 hits, and like my Walmart app just didn't show it in stock at all. So I'm like, what the hell's going on? Well, I read into it a little further. It's not even, they're not even letting it was a Walmart Plus exclusive, but it was a Walmart Plus exclusive to paid memberships only. Like they didn't even allow the free trial people to try and get this. And they're like, oh, well, it's to combat bots. So now you're getting to a point where this is getting so bad that retailers are making you pay them to pay them again. Like that there's something wrong. Like it's not like a Sam's Club or a BJ's where you got to get a membership. You
But a
know,
lot of those you can't even deny the free trials. Like if you're wanting to get something and you get a free trial first, you have to wait until that free trial is over until you do it. So you have to anticipate that because like
yeah.
they won't let you skip that trial. They force you into doing it, which like free trials are great. Like if I'm convinced I'm gonna buy a service and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm gonna take the free trial to get some extra time on it for free. Why not? But when you have something like that, like you can't skip those.
And
Like you
and this is
can't turn
something
down a
like
free trial.
this is Walmart Plus we're talking about. This is something
Yeah.
that gives you like free delivery, like maybe some discounts on the website. We're not talking Amazon Prime where you get Prime TV, you get Prime Gaming, you get all these other benefits along with Prime. And honestly, I've not tried to do a restock on Amazon. And I'm not even sure if they limit their restocks to just Prime users or not. But I mean, like, I was so frustrated with Walmart Monday. I'm just like, you know what? They can take their subscription service and put it where the sun don't shine. Like, I was just
This is Nightcrawler. Just say shove
completely,
it up their ass. You can be mad about it.
you know, like, I was just so over it. I'm just like, I'm done. Like, why do I
Yeah,
have to
it's
pay? I didn't even bother looking at what the paid subscription was because I was so frustrated with it. I'm like, why do I have to sit here and pay them? I got a free trial to their service, and my God, that just put such a bitter taste in my mouth.
I mean, honestly, if you'd been able to buy it with that free trial, would you have been willing to possibly keep that free trial longer?
I mean, there's a possibility of it. Realistically, probably not because I don't use that stuff. But my
But the
wife
fact that you couldn't do it
buys.
automatically turns you
Oh,
off. And it did that
absolutely.
to,
Like
I'm
it
sure,
went from
hundreds of thousands of other people.
it went from 35% chance of me keeping it to zero, quick.
yeah.
Like,
Terrible
like
business model.
yeah, so the ripple effect coming from these bots is also an issue too. So, it's not just, oh, bots are taking my stuff. Well, now you got retailers doing things to prevent the bots, and it's like, why? Why do, like why do I got to pay for a trial that or pay for a service that I have a trial for in order to experience, this restock. And again, like I said, it was just so frustrating. And again, this is just a ripple effect of what we're talking about with these bots.
It's trash. It's I don't know. It's gotta. It'll. There's always.
Hopefully they speed run this bill because it needs to be taken care of like as soon as possible. They can't. I'm not even gonna say ASAP. I'm gonna actually say as soon as possible because it's that important. They need to, like, they can't shortcut this. They need to get it done now.
somebody I remember seeing on Instagram it was either yesterday or the day before when they first announced this, and somebody commented in the comments, "Oh, I think somebody took a L on the sneakers app and didn't get their Jordan 1s." And I started laughing because there's actually a few politicians that actually go on the sneaker shoe apps to try to get shoes when they drop because they actually like Nikes and stuff. So I thought that was kind of funny because that's the only reason why this bill came about, because they lost out on some Jordan 1s that they couldn't cop. So I thought that was kind of hilarious. But you guys are absolutely right. And this isn't just detrimental to trying to get a Series X or a PS5. This is detrimental to everything we know about online shopping. And with here we go again. Nice, I love it. With metaverse becoming a thing in the next 5 to 10 years, however long it takes to transition the internet into that direction, which is obviously it's there now in different ways, but in the way that like Ready Player One status is what I'm seeing. When we transition online shopping from being at my desktop or even on my phone to buying something that way in a 2D somewhat format, to putting on some sort of device to where I can enter a virtual internet space and then purchase items digitally to where they come to me physically, botting is going to be an even bigger problem, because you're going to have if you know anything about metaverse, it is going to be a virtual space where you can have different, not only online shops that we have now, but digital spaces that have their own currency and their own online shop within the digital space, where you can buy digital property and digital land and digital this and digital that and own it, to where you can transition it into physical money, but you own it digitally. So now you're going to have bots that not only can buy your products from the stores you shop at, but from these virtual spaces as well. And that worries me even more.
Well, at that point, those virtual products mean just as much as physical products.
Yes.
Because when you start living in a metaverse, like at that point, to the individuals using that, those virtual items have just as much significance as physical items. When you look at you just saw what I wrote in the chat. When you look at like Fortnite, for example, all the items, like that is a free game that makes so much money on in-game purchases. That's kind of like metaverse will be that times a lot. Like you take like the item purchases in Fortnite and just like upscale them a ton. That's metaverse. That's what they're shooting for. You can have small businesses creating NFT like devices. Like we talk about NFT like being like crypto type stuff right now. That's the future. Like you can argue, whatever you want about crypto, but NFTs are the future, because like when you go into something like metaverse, that's what it is. That's what everything is going to be. All items will have non-fungible like value, basically. Like they're not physical items that have value emotionally and physically to you.
Yeah. My one of my crewmates from my dance crew, he's actually doing pretty well with his NFTs from what I understand. It's amazing. He just creates a simple little short 5-10 second clip type project, and he puts something to it, and it becomes a digital item that people want to collect. It is no different from collecting baseball cards and Pokemon cards, except it's now digital form. I think it makes sense to me.
It's no different than a dollar bill. A dollar bill only has value because we give it value.
Exact. Thank you.
If you have a politician one day that says the dollar isn't worth anymore, it literally will be worth nothing if they have any kind of sway at all. Like that's happened with currencies in other countries. Like if they change the currency, that old currency literally means nothing. Like if you get a new currency, like that's what, crypto and NFT, that's a whole nother conversation, but that's kind of what we're going at with NFT. Like that's kind of why, to me, like no matter what your stance is on crypto, and if you tie NFT to crypto, like it still has value because people say it does.
Because we give it value.
The more people say that it has value, the more value it has.
Yeah.
Regardless of whatever the centralized banking system or politicians say, when you give something value inherently, like emotionally, physically, you invest in it, not just with your money, it has value. And that's what metaverse, that's what, these bots are doing. That's what, Fortnite and all these things are doing. That's, money is money, regardless of whether it's a coin or a piece of paper.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to say, like, last night I was watching several different videos as well as the Facebook event, because I didn't really watch the whole thing. I watched like enough of it, but I watched it from the beginning. And I just want to say, finally, like, this is the future I've been waiting for. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Where we are we are not only physically here, but we are virtually there. Because we've had the internet now for so long, but we've had content and entertainment that has shown us where it can go for so long. Like Ghost in the Shell. You know what I mean? Ready Player One. You know what I mean? Things like that, where you're able to enter a virtual internet space and do the things you do physically, but now it's all completely virtual. You have your own avatar. You're able to go to all these different spaces. Like, it's almost like, if you're old enough to remember, it's like AOL if AOL became VR. Think about it. Because when AOL came out, you had a bunch of different chat rooms that you could join to get to know and chat with a bunch of different people. You had all these different websites at the beginning that you could go to do different things. You had your own email. You could do a bit of shopping. You could do this and that. You had AIM for messaging, which was like your hangout. If AOL became virtual, that's the metaverse. That's how I see it. And it's coming full circle. What do you think, Vegas, before we get on out?
No, I agree. It's crazy. I mean, things are just gonna keep changing over time. We just gotta adapt to everything. One day we're just gonna have a visor on our face and walking around gaming. I mean, everything's just it's gonna be crazy.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Like, to be able to, like, if you watch the Facebook event, when when Mark Zuckerberg like became his avatar and then he went into the meeting space, like, and obviously the metaverse does not look like that right now, but that's where
It's
they
not fleshed out,
to
but
do.
yeah, that's what they want to go.
That's what they would like to get it to. Like, but with the section where they do the video phone call to the two women, and she has on the glasses and she's doing the AR thing, because the artist did like some like AR graffiti art for you to find. I want those freaking glasses. I want HoloLens. I want Google Glass. I don't care what it is. Give me an Oculus. I don't care how big it is on my head right now. Let me in. This is what I have been waiting for.
You want Tony Stark's Jarvis and Friday glasses.
Yes. Yes, right now. Like, and not for $3,000. I want them like commercially acceptable for the consumer, like,
As long as the bot doesn't buy it.
Huh?
Hopefully
The
none
bot
of the
doesn't buy
bots
it.
don't get them.
Yeah, for real, right? And that's the
Take
thing
$3,000 glasses and make them $10,000 glasses.
But that's the
that
thing
won't
too, is we're getting to the point in the technology of it all where they can start to make products that don't actually cost that much. They may not
So
be as, you know, um They may not be able to do as much as a more expensive product, but like a $200 pair of glasses versus $3,000 HoloLens or 5,000, however much it costs, like they're gonna get to that point, And I would buy them for $200. Shit, Ray-Bans cost.
So what, on that point, we're not quite there yet. Facebook is selling Quest at a loss, like the Oculus Quest at a loss. They're trying to get them into the hands of as many people as possible, and they've been trying for a couple of years now, so that they can get metaverse running, because to them that's their end goal. That's the product they're trying to sell, not the Quest. They don't want to sell VR. They want to sell metaverse.
Yes,
that's why they sell them so much cheaper than like the HTC Vive or the Valve, and like the Valve's like VR goggles or anybody else. Like they're like a third of the price. Like they're selling them at a loss, that because that's more important to them than to make profit on that hardware. That they're trying to accelerate it. If we were to do it naturally, like organically, we would be 30 to 40 years off at least. But the fact that Facebook is trying to accelerate it by selling this product at a reasonable price, by selling it at a loss in order to develop the metaverse, by promoting it and marketing it the way that they are with their events, even though their trust level is really, really low right now with the whistleblower shit and everything, they're going to get there. Like instead of 30 to 40 years, it'll take them 10 to 15.
Well,
that's my guess.
Technology to already be able to go into the metaverse is already there. To make it commercially available, I think could happen in a much shorter amount of time, because they're already doing it now. To get it to look the way it did in that event, I could say 10 to 15 years. I could agree with you on that. But I could see us already being in the metaverse within the next 3 to 5. Like as like a base version of what it could look like before it like gets upgraded, better avatars, better whatever we're seeing.
So you mean like Pluto VR upscaled? Like
I don't have VR and I want VR so bad. So can you explain that to me? Like
Pluto VR is like VR and cloud gaming. And all it is just basically like taking that and scaling it, which is what Facebook is trying to do. Like we have technology that can do VR gaming in the cloud. It's not great, but it works. And Facebook is trying to do that. But if they can get people sold on trying it, the more people they get in, the more money they get in their value of their stock, and their market cap, then they can start investing more money into fleshing out the metaverse.
Yeah.
So it's a phase game. Like they have to do this in phases. It's not just roll it out, be done, and then grow it more. Like they have to roll it out in phases. So it's going to take them time. 15 years is a minimum, absolute minimum.
Which brings me to ask you, did you see the game that they're developing right now? The VR game? No. So I forget the name of it. I don't have it in front of me. I apologize, everyone. But they are developing a VR game that is what I would compare it to is if you could not play Animal Crossing, but be in Animal Crossing. It's not completely like that. Like I would almost compare it also to like a game like Creta, but it's a social platform game as it was described or that I saw. A social platform game. You have your own avatar and there's different things you can do inside this world, but it's a world that you can explore and you can meet other people inside of this game.
It's like Creta Core, Minecraft, games like that.
But the whole purpose of this game is a base point to metaverse of what we can do and how we can explore the internet virtually. And I think that's kind of awesome. But at the same time, it's like, well,
they're nowhere near ready for a full metaverse the way they positioned it when they were like announcing it. They're nowhere near ready for that. Like that stuff, like they're in like alpha prototypes. Like it's nowhere near anywhere near production. They're working on it and the plan is good. They got the strategy for it. But they got to sell people on it and make them comfortable with the idea first before they can even start to do anything of importance.
Well, if you have $4,000 laying around, you can do it right now. I don't, so I can't. Damn it. No. When we finally get to that point, it's gonna be, and if I'm like, what, I'm 36 now. If I'm like 45, 50 at that point when it finally gets really there, fuck it. It's gonna be awesome. And
Our grandkids will see it in their lifetime for sure.
they'll be born into it. That's they'll be born digitally. You know what I'm saying? They'll be the NFT. No, but it's
Their birth certificates will be NFTs for sure.
yeah. Despite
Seed.
security concerns, it's going to be a beautiful thing because we are far advanced enough to where this is where we're going. And I'll be honest with you, looking at the internet now, when you now think about the metaverse, and now when you look at the internet, how we use it, it is kind of becoming a little bit retro. If you think about it, like, what is the next step? What is the next evolution? The next step is to go inside what we see, not to just look at it, but to be it, and I'm excited for that. Before we head out of here, any last words from anybody else?
I don't know, with the whole VR thing. I mean, like, I don't think I'm gonna see what would intrigue me in my lifetime for it. I like the idea of what you see in like Ready Player One, where like the dude's got wires hooked up to him. He's running on like this like treadmill type thing, and I don't want to play VR where I stand in one spot and I use my thumbsticks to move. Like at that point, I might as well just be holding a controller and I just got a
Not
screen
really
right in front of
immersive.
my face. You know what I mean?
It only goes so far.
So, like, when it comes to VR, like, yeah, it looks cool, but I don't think I'm going to see what is going to really make me excited about VR in my lifetime. And maybe by the time I do, I'd be lucky if I could do it without a walker. Like,
Where I want to, I'm glad you said that, because where I would actually like to see VR be able to go, and this is probably a very far-fetched idea because I can't even understand how they would be able to make that happen, but is something like Sword Art Online, the anime. Because in that anime, it's an MMO VR headset that you use. And when you use that headset, it scans your brain and your entire body by reading your brain.
The Awaken Online books are the same way.
Yeah. So it scans your brain and it reads your entire body. And then when you enter the game, you have your virtual body, your character that you've created, but you can feel it, you can touch it, you can interact with the world and everything, but you're laying down. You're not moving anything. This is completely coming from your brain.
But they stimulate your muscles while you're doing that, so you don't get atrophied. Like that's the whole point with that genre of VR storytelling.
Yeah, so I would love to see it get there somehow, some way. I don't know if it can. Being on a treadmill or a moving machine, or using your hands is pretty much what we have for the foreseeable future until they're able to come up with some sort of tech like that. I would love to see it. I would agree with you, being, respectfully younger than you, Jojo, that I don't think in my lifetime I would see something like that. Technology.
That's Ready Player 2. If you've read that book, they talk about that.
I don't read books. You know that.
I know you
not to
I
mention
do.
books because I don't read books. So, come on, you know better, bro. I don't read books. I read.
I know you. I know you don't. I do. I read Ready Player 2. It sucked, but that's what they talked about.
Which is actually good to know because I have very much enjoyed the movie Ready Player One, and to know that that's, regardless if the book was good or not, that's where they took the story and evolution of that type of tech. That's what I would like to see, because ultimately, when you think VR, I should be able to put on a headset or some sort of device and not have to move anything, and everything that I want to do is happening through here to here in that space,
We can talk about that more offline. I can tell you more about what the book did, but yeah, there's a lot of books that I could tell you about right now that I've read that address that technology and all the issues with it.
Which, as I let you all out of here, to segue, I am very much looking forward to Matrix Resurrections, because if you haven't seen the recent trailer, there's a specific shot where Neo is using a VR device. Why? I need to know. So, December 22nd, I believe it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Which is also crazy leading into what we're talking about, because Matrix pretty much explained a lot of what was coming in the next 20 years. That was the whole point of it. And for Keanu to come out and say that this next movie is giving the next 20 years in the direction of where all of this is going is very intriguing to me. So I'm excited for that. But to the topic of the botting and everything, and online shopping as well as metaverse and all of that, and if you think Bitcoin and everything, online botting is just very detrimental. I just don't get it. Okay, it's just what it is. If you want to resell and do the resell game, that's fine. But to bot and to straight rip from other people, you're stealing, and then you're trying to flip it for a ridiculous amount, and then you're robbing people of their money. And then at the same time, when you're flipping these consoles and stuff, like if you guys are watching this out there, you're watching the live or the replay, do not buy these flipped consoles. If you're going to, make sure, like Rich of Review Tech USA said, make sure it's from a place like StockX, where you have more verification.
Or a friend, somebody that you know.
Not even that. No, because a friend will still scalp and bot, and you won't even know it and say they got it. And then next thing you know, a month later, you got a bricked console. I would make sure it's absolutely verified if you're going to do this, because even a friend can lie to you. So be very careful, everybody. Just do it the right way. Don't be a bot, unless you're doing the robot, whatever it is. But just
even then, don't do it unless it's Dusty. Unless you're watching Dusty on YouTube teaching you how to do it, just don't do it.
You know what I'm saying? All right. So let's let everybody out of here. And great discussion tonight. Thank you guys so much for being here. Shout out to Vegas for popping his cherry. You know what I'm saying? First podcast, getting on here, joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I think I speak for everybody here. I think you did a great job, bro.
I'm just chilling. I like listening to you guys talk. If you have a question, I'll try to answer it.
That's all it is. And we'll love to have you back on again, in the upcoming episodes whenever you're down. Just let me know. Sure. But yeah, as we
just gotta be more like me and Dusty and Joe. Just bullshit half your answers, and something will come out right.
Try to argue with each other to create, what is it called? Drama, for the audience, try to have opposing points. No, honestly,
talk about Ben's beard.
Huh?
We'll just talk about Ben's beard.
Yeah, no, for real. And how to exfoliate a beard properly. Ben, let everybody know where they can find you.
Cloud Trippin' Entertainment on Twitch, Cloud Trippin' Int, I think is what it is, on Twitter, as well as on TikTok. I found out recently, I was abbreviating int for entertainment, and I found out recently that is an Urban Dictionary slang for stoner. So I've basically embraced it as well.
So
yeah,
I don't understand that.
Yeah. So it is what it is. My only guess is that it became that way because Ents are like the tree-like dudes in Lord of the Rings. And people just turned them into stoners because they talk slow and move slow and everything. And it's just, I don't know. Anyway, Cloud Trippin' Entertainment on Twitch. Find me on there. You'll find all my other links for everything else there.
And Jojo, let everybody know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitch as well, Jojo Narak. I got about one stream a week, guaranteed. I tried for more, but you'll see anything and everything in the stream. Forza, Halo. I'm planning on doing a little bit of Demon Souls, maybe a Demon Souls playthrough before Elden Ring comes out. Other than that, in the Planet Dusty Discord there, in the Game Tech Planet Discord, just Discords in general, I'm all over the place. Not quite as many as Ben, I'm sure, but
it's hard to do.
And Jojo Narak on Twitch or Twitter as well.
Nice.
What is it? Team Nom?
I'm on a stream team, Nation of Misfits, as well.
Nom nom.
Nom, 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 nom.
Really, just a really cool bunch of people. They're pretty
It seemed
happy
like
with
it.
my one stream a week, and they've helped me develop my stream, not only my stream but my streaming skills as well. So.
Awesome.
I don't recommend anybody like just jump into stream teams, but I've been a part of that community for a while, and they offered an invite, and I gladly accepted.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out Team Nom 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 Nom. Vegas Night. Where can everybody find you, good sir?
Just hanging out with you guys in the Discord, Vegas Night, Xbox, Stadia, just hanging out.
He's usually in mine and Dusty's streams playing along with us, making our games more interesting. So yeah, that's where you can find him is in our streams.
Yeah, boy.
Talking crap, having fun, playing games.
Every stream needs that guy, man. Like it's a very important role.
That's true. And I am your host, Dusty. You can find me on Twitter at Dusty Fredericks with an IX, or on Instagram as well, Dusty Fredericks with an IX. You can find me streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays mostly. YouTube would just be Dusty. If you're on Twitch or Trovo, it is THA, the Dusty one, as in number one. And I will do my best to leave the proper Discord link in the description after this stream is done. Nobody judge me. Yeah, that's pretty much where you can do that at. And thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to everybody in the chat for joining us. Shout out to Maker of Chaos. Shout out to Nez. What's his original? What is it? Jonathan Sauls,
yeah.
aka Nezbomb. Shout out to Game Tech Planet for being here. Ace, even from Cloud Gaming Extreme, stopped through. Thank you so much. We got to get you on the show soon, brother. But yeah, as always, stay safe, stay clean, stay healthy. We'll see you guys next time.
No, stay Dusty.
No, that's just me. What's this? I'm the only one who's allowed to be Dusty.